tell you right now, damn it, if Corey Graves makes a comeback, I'll make him one.
A little bit of yes, great challenge, fail. Oh, you want to steal a line? You can steal a line from what my man, the Tribal Chief, said to Seth Rollins. It said, if I wanted to pick a main event scene, I'll do it with your wife.
Wow.
If your former employer, right, is throwing you a bag for one night, all you gotta do is go in there for one night. You're probably gonna be in there 15 minutes max, right? But go do it. You know what I'm saying? Just go do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she'll be back on Impact, and
even if the money is in a trash bag.
See, that's a different story.
What I did
there? Dick Jackson saying Dummy Khan needs to push the Kings of the Black throne to the moon. Yes, make it up to us. If you're gonna push something black, you might as well make it Malachi Black. That seems right up your. That seems right up your alley. That seems right up your alley, Tony. Antoine Khan.
Antoine Khan.
It's like you went, you had a stay, you had a procedure in the hospital, and you come back, and your whole house has been rearranged. It's a whole different color. All the same people that used to live with you ain't there anymore. It's a whole bunch of new roommates, new family members. It's crazy what they have done to NXT.
You're much nicer than I am. I was gonna say it's like watching your wife get fucked by a new dude. You're much nicer. You took the nicer route.
It fits what WWE always does. They love them the nostalgia pop. If they're working with Impact Wrestling, there's one name that could potentially be in the Royal Rumble and then be in the WWE Hall of Fame in April. And I'm talking about the real deal now. D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown is right there. Nostalgia pop. He's from Impact Wrestling. He could be in the Royal Rumble. D'Lo Brown is going to walk through the forbidden door and be in the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble match.
Expect disappointment, and you won't be disappointed.
We are very good at predicting the future, and there's more news to talk about on this edition of True Heel Heat. Cody's a free agent. Mustafa Ali asks for his release, and it's denied. And now Lio Rush is a free agent. Oh my God, dummy Antoine Khan is at it again. Let's get to it. Producer, hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for True Heel Heat 159, Denied, Resigned, and Freedom. Freedom, let it rain. Yes, we are here to discuss the latest wrestling news, including shocking Lio Rush in AEW news just broke half an hour before this show. Mustafa Ali asking for his WWE release and getting denied. Cody Rhodes becoming a free agent and what that means. Sami Zayn re-signing with WWE. A recap of the weekend wrestling. Predictions for the Wrld On GCW tomorrow night in New York City's Hammerstein Ballroom, plus much more. And we have some returns with us. First up, he gave us a little preview last week at the beginning of the show. He is the president of the Titan Nation, so he's going to need all your support for this weekend. Top Guy JJ.
What is going on, fellas? And yes, welcome. Thank you, True Heel Heat Nation, for welcoming me back. And yes, not about candles today. It is all about my goddamn Titans. We are playing a little bit later on today. Yes, the love would be greatly appreciated. And I need a drink already because I am. It's happy hour somewhere. As a good friend would say, it's happy hour somewhere. I need a drink because I don't know what the fuck was that intro about people getting denied their releases. Like what year are we in? 2022?
We will get into it. And just to make the picture that you're seeing on the screen even more beautiful, we have returning after a 1 week absence. It is the one, the only. It's the one, the only. Miss Krssi Luv. What's going on, Krssi?
Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome me back. I leave for 1 week. I leave 1 week and all this shit happens. Now I can curse. I'm excited.
Everything breaks down when you go away for a week. And we have a returning special guest, one of my favorite special guests. He made up the term, he came up with the term distraction legend. He is a True Hill Heat Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He is a man who is very knowledgeable on professional wrestling. He is doing podcasts at hours that I don't even know why he does it over in the UK. He is the face of the late night grin. He is Joseph Hulbert. What's going on?
Hi,
I was a little confused when your transition to me for a moment felt like it was going to be making the screen more beautiful. I was like, man, that seems like a phone. That seems daring, but that made more sense. I'm mad, man. I just entered free agency and all these wrestlers are following me. Have you noticed that? That's bullshit. That's not fair. But I'm happy to be back. As I said to you before, you've been mentioning this for a while, and that late night green show I do, man, it ends at like 8 a.m. my time. I'm living on your guys' time zone, so this is early for me as it is for you. So, but I'm happy to be here, and it's at least, it's an eventful week, right? We've got lots to talk about, so I'm looking forward to it.
A whole lot to unpack, and I'm glad Joe is here with us. There's so many free agents in the wrestling world, but Joe is the hottest free agent in wrestling media, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a podcast and you're watching True Hill Heat right now, hit up the guy, slide in his DMs, give him your top 50 in-ring performers in AEW, and do all that great stuff because he's doing great things. And thank you for joining us, Joe.
Thank you, buddy. By the way, I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgot. Today is the last day I'm accepting ballots for that thing. So you can get in before the deadline. The top 50 in-ring performers of AEW's year. DM them my way. We've got a lot of ballots. And let me tell you, folks, the results are more insane than you ever would have imagined. So I'm looking forward to revealing those. So, yes, thanks, pal. I appreciate it.
I am looking forward to it as well. And I hope you guys are looking forward to a jam-packed episode on this one. Remember to drop a thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We are about 40 subscribers away from our 2K goal. So let's hit that. Help us out. Tell a friend. Go. Tell a friend to support the True Hill Heat Nation. And if you want to support us even more, patreon.com/True Hill Heat for extra bonus content, as well as supporting the channel in a major way. And you can support it on this stream right here with your super chat donations. They are always appreciated. We make sure that we highlight it on screen. We try to highlight as many as your comments as possible, but the super chat donation, make sure we highlight it. Like Valaba, who gave us a super chat donation here. Producer, relax. Balaba saying,
we excited. A lot going on.
Balaba says, oh boy, can't wait for the discourse over Leo Rush's contract status. Yes, I messaged the True Hill Heat gang, and I was like, as soon as I make the last minute additions to the True Hill Heat agenda for today, AEW gives us some bigger news to talk about. Love it. Love to see that. We got Frantic World here with us saying, what's up, SP3, Top Guy JJ, Joe, and chat. We also got John Blunt joining us saying, that's a bummer about Leo. He's such a singular talent. Man, we're about to get into that for sure. Of course, JJ is here in the live chat with Joe with us, saying hello all, finished up with work. We'll miss about 15 minutes as I make my way home. All hail. We also got Tope Suicida with the all hail, the rally cry of Joe Hulbert. Balaba says, oh, this will be a fun one for sure. There's a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Negro Buck says, sup, True Hill Heat fam, just popping in at work. Hope everyone is having a good day, except for Bully Ray, Dummy Khan, and Terrence Bolea. Yes, Terrence from Florida, as we call him here on True Hill. Yes.
Terrence.
I'm gonna be asking a lot of questions apparently, because there's a lot of shit that apparently I've missed. Mm-hmm. Can I just say, hey, boo, I've missed you like crazy on this show. Like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. I was gonna say that, but I was gonna give SP his time to talk and let him do all the announcements and everything. I was gonna give you your time to, give you all my
you
love
actually
back.
go on the rails. So you on the rails. No off the rails.
I was being. I just came back. I was gonna be good. Like,
what
you want him to be mad at us already?
Hey, what are we doing now?
Already starting. Alan Weinstein says, well, even AEW and Antoine are not exempt from doing dumb shit. That's very true. Very true. Heel Steven says, my boys, I'm at work. I'm at the office listening. See you all tomorrow at Hammerstein. Yes, we will be talking about the Wrld on GCW, which is going to be hitting the streets tomorrow night on Fight TV as well as pay-per-view. But we're going to start things off with appreciating all of you watching and all of you supporting us on social media and the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, our True Heel Roll Call, our top 3 conversation starters on our True Heels group page. True Heel Trinity is Jessica V, Reno Red, and of course, number 1, Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. And of course, our Patreon backers, we got a shout out Valaba, who's in the live chat, Alan Weinstein as well, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, Slam and Sammy Joe, you my boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve Salvage, and Antoine Rutledge. We appreciate you all. But yes, we got to get into our top news story immediately.
Can I throw out a challenge? Because it feels like the Negro Buck has been number 1 on the roll call for like 70,000 years already, and it just hasn't seemed to like change or no one just wants. Can I just, if somebody in any week, even if I'm not on the show, SP can message me himself. If somebody actually beats Nick Jackson in the roll call, I will send you a care package myself.
Ooh, that's nice. Does it pay for the good candle?
There's a lot of you guys in the chat right now, so I'm just saying, spice up the True Heel Heat, the chat on Facebook, spice that shit up, because apparently Nick Jackson is the only one that seems to want to talk shit. And listen, I want to see him dethroned. I want to see him get dethroned.
That's
the great challenge.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My packages are pretty damn good. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm about to say that sounds like a good thing, and you should put it on like after whoever producer somebody put it on Facebook or whatever, saying hey, or on Instagram like hey, we need you guys to like get in because Top Guy JJ is gonna send you something really nice.
You need to take a picture of the care package.
That's a great question. Yeah, you know what? You could DM me your address, sir.
There you go. But let's get into the top news story because there's a lot of news that was big during this week. And we had some big news drop on us a half an hour before we went live here as Lio Rush announces that he will be a free agent on February 14th.
So he had a 2-month contract? Like, I don't understand.
We're going to get into all that. Lio Rush has been at the center of this whole Big Swole and Tony Khan situation since it started on New Year's Eve. The star was one of the most vocal against Tony Khan's tweet against Swole and even demanded the AEW president apologize to her. Since this incident, Rush has been conspicuous by his absence on AEW television. Many optimistic fans believed it was just due to him taking care of bookings for other promotions like New Japan Pro Wrestling. However, it was revealed today on Lio Rush's Twitter that the fans who were very skeptical were proven correct. Lio Rush announced that he will be a free agent on February 14th, just 6 months after he officially signed with All Elite Wrestling. That is the tweet right there, and he is currently taking booking inquiries, so you can email him at leorushnow@gmail.com. But we'll start with Joe, our special guest here. Do you believe that there is a connection between Lio Rush's departure that's coming up next month and his tweets against Tony Khan's response to Big Swole?
I mean, it kind of feels like it's impossible not to assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard because I think with Lio, people are going to do a lot of kind of pointing the finger at him, right? Because I think he's a guy that's been pretty honest about some of his kind of ups and downs and motivation, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's in, he's out, and like, trust me, I can relate, I get that. So I just hope he's good. But you'd have to be pretty optimistic to not kind of fear the worst about this whole story, the way it played out.
Yep.
I mean, he was in the middle of an angle, right? It's one thing if he was just on the roster. That angle, they've clearly been on the fly trying to adjust in his absence. So, yeah, it was everyone's kind of worst kind of fear when the story happened. So, I hope he's good. He's obviously very, very talented, and what he wants to do is the priority to me. Like, I think people are going to be quick to say this and say that about his career and where he's at this point, but like, man, he's got what's right for him, you know? And I'm a big fan. I think he's great, and he's still a young guy who's got a long time to figure out what and where he wants to be. So, yeah, it's hard not, though, to assume that it's due to those tweets. Absolutely.
100%. What about you, Krssi Luv? What do you think that there is a connection, and how does it make AEW look that there is a connection between these two situations?
Well, one, again, I didn't know it was the 6 months that he's been there. I was like, that he's only been there, 2 months? I've only seen him like a handful of times on television. So it's not like they have him working or doing anything. He's been out maybe like once or twice since he's been there. But yeah, it does look very fishy that, you know, he spoke up about the whole Big Swole thing. He was one of the most vocal ones that spoke up. Well, I think he was the only one that was vocal about it, right?
Well, there were other wrestlers, but none like under AEW contract that were as vocal as him.
That's what I mean. So it does look very fishy, suspect, you know, that, you know, this is what happened. And Tony, as much as he said what he said, this is not making it look good at all either. So, I mean, sad to see, because, you know, Lio Rush could have done a lot of good things. I feel like he didn't even go against like, he was in a tag match? The tag match, like what singles match did he have? Like, I can't even really name them. You know what I'm saying? Like it was such potential. Like he could have did a couple of feuds with a lot of good guys. And it's just a shame that, you know, now he's going to be a free agent. Maybe he wants to be a free agent. Maybe it's better for him and his family, where he can just go and bounce around to each, you know, different, you know, companies. So maybe that'll work out better for him, where he can get his money that way.
It could be an option there. Top Guy JJ, what do you think? How does this make AEW look in the aftermath, as far as like how they handle the Big Swole situation, and then Lio Rush becoming a free agent after being vocal against it?
Yeah, Lio Rush is a very strong individual. So he's a person that's very, once he has his opinion on something, he's very firm with it. And this was writing on the wall from the Big Swole situation. He was not making a statement. He was pissed the fuck off. He was pissed off. And when you demand for your boss to apologize, you have to understand the stance that you just made for the rest of your professional career there. You are now standing up on social media to the second biggest boss in professional wrestling. And that's a hell of a stance. And yes, I agree with him. with the stance that he took, because, you know, the thing about AEW is that you can't ask them questions. You can't ask questions about if you're not agreeing with something, is that your success is getting to your head to the point that you can't receive feedback. And when Lio Rush did that, you should have been a proper boss and answered it properly and gave your talent the light of day to understand where he's coming from. And when you just start naming all of these black wrestlers that's been on TV, that's not answering his question. He talked about one scene, and he didn't get that answer. So this writing was on the wall. I'm just kind of glad that he's very strong in his conviction. I'm just proud that he's able to do that, and I hope that a lot more people actually follow those footsteps, because a lot of people don't have the balls to do that. That's Pete Frozen.
I think so.
Was he agreeing with me so much that he actually froze? Like he's so shocked that he is actually agreeing with me so much that he can't even muster up words or unfreeze himself. Like he must
really agree with you.
Yeah,
he had to leave. Yeah, there you go.
He's so shocked. He's so shocked that he could not believe it. He's like, holy shit. Like, I am 100% in agreement with Top Guy right now, and this is not cool.
That was
I'm
incredible.
in control now.
You're in control.
Let's read some comments here.
Where's that kickoff button, yo? Where's that kickoff button? Get that shit out of here, yo.
Alan, Miss Krssi, so glad you're back to bring some sanity and expert knowledge to the panel.
Thank you. Hello.
Oh Lord, my fucking camera my screen has been poisoned right now.
This jersey look great.
That's been poisoned. It's been straight.
Oh, the
poison.
Bengals. Oh, because your jersey.
He's not even a Bengals fan. He's just being a bitch right now.
Being a troll.
Bengals fan. He's being a POS right now. That's basic. That's all he is being right now.
Alan, I don't understand how the roll call truly works. Simply in the Facebook group True Heels, whoever has the most posts on there, I think that's how it goes.
Yes, that's how it works.
Yeah, most interaction on Facebook.
Nick
Who's
Jackson
posting the most things?
Wow, I don't even know how to feel right now. Top Guy JJ really preying on my downfall.
No, you see, that's the problem with y'all. See, I don't understand when I'm pushing for challenges. I'm pushing for challenges for your throne. You've been on top for so long. I want to see you receive some competition.
This is like a sense of betrayal to him. I understand what you're saying.
That's a personal issue. That's a personal issue. Well, we have like 159 episodes of True Heel Heat.
Hey,
I don't know what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
You were
but
agreeing with Top Guy JJ. You were
agreeing
so
with
much.
It's a shock reaction. It's a shock reaction. He's
like
so shocked that he couldn't even talk.
I guess so. Yeah, I realized I was frozen, and I was just like, let me get out of here. But yes, my final question about this Lio Rush situation is for Joe here. Do you think this will go down as AEW's biggest misstep of their run so far? Just the overall situation with Big Swole and what's been the aftermath and the fallout since then?
So far, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would put the seatbelt on and get ready for a rocky year. I think there is some evidence that that's a hard gig and some weird shit happens in wrestling. And I've seen some stuff like there's some signs, man. And that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the show. You can like what you like, right? But in terms of the that kind of vibe they initially had of like, the new place that everyone was happy. Everyone had 3-year deals, right? Honeymoon's coming up, right? And we're seeing it already, and it's going to be an interesting year. And there's going to be some challenges ahead. I think the product has too many good wrestlers to foul. But in a year, if you ask me what their biggest misstep is, I sense there may be some different options. I'll put it that way. I think it's going to be pretty interesting from that regard. That's just me. I'm not a scoopster or anything, but there's some stuff out there. It's interesting.
Yes. I found out my own stuff, and I was just like, okay, this is how he really is, and just more and more stuff is making it public, where it's kind of getting to that point.
He's one of those guys?
No, it's kind of getting to that point where you got to support the performers over the company. That's where it's getting to, as far as where I'm concerned. So yeah, I mean, we just had to add that story, but the other top story that we were going to discuss had to do with the other company. But JJ,
no, I'm retracting my care package to you, Nick Jackson. Get the fuck out of here with that Go Bengals shit. No more care package for you, motherfucker. I don't care how long you be on top anymore. That's over. That's over.
There you go.
Go Bengals. You got your fucking mind.
I'm pretty sure you guys already highlighted this one, but I want to thank Evan for his super chat donation. Big one here says I can never catch live, so take my money. Missing me some Mocha Mondays. You can get a taste of Mocha Mondays a little bit later on the Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel. Myself, Sat, as well as the other Daily Boy, Alex McCarthy, will all be a part of the Royal Rumble Trivia Challenge over on Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So, Evan, if you want some wrestling daily back in your life, you can go over there and check that out. Chops Payne says this is a huge bummer for a lot of us. Man, we also got Valaba who says Leo will tear up the indies for sure. He's going to be on the GCW event. He's a part of the brass ring ladder match. So
wait, he changed his name. Wasn't it Valabi?
Oh, no, he taught me how to pronounce it. It's Valaba.
Oh, got it. Okay, because I'm like, who? What are you saying?
Bill's Mafia STF.
Got it now. Okay, friend, I got you. No worries.
Bill's Mafia STF
Sorry.
says, I imagine Leo will work GCW, New Japan, and Ring of Honor when it is back. And Ace Shock says, hashtag free Ali, which is the perfect place to segue. If you are joining us for the first time, just discovering True Hill Heat, remember to drop the thumbs up on the video and hit that subscribe button if you are new. I know a lot of you are Joe Hulbert marks, but you will enjoy a lot of the content on True Hill Heat YouTube channel if you enjoy stuff like the late night grin and everything that Joe does. You will enjoy it here.
It's like my content, but good. You know, you should try it out. It's good stuff.
I would say it's like Joe's content, but a little bit more tanned.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, it's
Same quality, just a little bit darker.
So we now throwing melanin into our promotion.
that part.
Sprinkled the melanin. Mustafa Ali publicly asks for his WWE release, and the company denies it. Mustafa Ali has been off of WWE TV since November. Fightful previously reported that the WWE superstar was on paternity leave. On Sunday, Ali tweeted his public release request on Twitter. Fightful learned and reported that Mustafa Ali asked for only one show off for paternity leave, even though he hasn't appeared on WWE programming since back in November, where Fightful was told that he wasn't at Survivor Series or SmackDown prior, which initially just looked like the company was extending his paternity leave, but there was much more to that. Those that Fightful spoke to said that he hasn't been back at SmackDown since then, and one source even indicated they were surprised that Ali wasn't at the SmackDown taping in Chicago. And Ali revealed a couple of weeks ago on his social media this New America gimmick, something that he had worked on himself. And according to those in the know, initially the character was accepted, but those in power in WWE changed their mind. Fightful then reported that there was a pitch from Vince McMahon for something that Mustafa Ali would never have done, and it led to a heated argument between the two. Ali hasn't been around and seen since then. Last fall, Ali did an interview where he said that McMahon told him that he was, quote unquote, too polished, too clean, too nice. I don't know if you have it in you. This was before he would eventually be brought back to lead Retribution. A higher up in WWE told Fightful that they've granted release requests as of late because it would be difficult to justify not granting releases when they've had so many budget cuts. One wrestler on the Federation. One wrestler on the SmackDown roster kind of praised Ali for his work being so creative, and not just in the ring, but as far as his character work. And Ali is very well liked within WWE, but apparently the report has now been updated, and that WWE will not be granting Ali his release request. There is discussions between the two sides over the week, and they informed Ali that they would not be granting his release, and that is not in their plans currently. Ali has years left on his WWE deal, but hasn't been used, like we said before. And the report says the term value was brought up several times in the discussions between Ali and WWE. And it wasn't even specifics on that or why WWE didn't grant the release. So, Top Guy JJ, why do you think WWE will not grant Mustafa Ali's release request?
Because he wants it. Duh. Duh. Because he wants
ding,
it.
Ding.
He wants freedom. And WWE is like, Vince McMahon with his old broken voice. No. Can't have it because he ain't got the gun. I almost slipped with the G name. I ain't even get to that part yet. I almost slipped with the G name, and he doesn't have that in his voice anymore to be all powerful. So it's just no. Hey, you can't have it. You want to be free. We can't give that to you. No, absolutely not. You're not a part of our plans to cut at the moment. You're probably gonna be a part of our April releases, but you're gonna go on our time. This is our chance. Our turn. Our terms when we cut you. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. Is anybody really surprised? Is anybody really surprised? I mean,
it's his fault. It's his fault. He shouldn't have even said anything because he probably would have been on the cuts for February.
Budget cuts is happening right
That's
after
what I'm saying.
Mania. Like,
so he should have just been quiet
right after Mania. he would have probably been a part of the budget cuts when they're making record profits. But that's for another time, But
doesn't it sound familiar though that this happened? Who did this happen to before? And they asked for their release, and they was like, "Nope, you're gonna stay here longer. We're gonna keep you here a little longer. We're gonna keep you in catering, or you could just stay at home and get paid."
I mean, they fucked with Cody. They fucked with Cody Rhodes for about a year with that because he was wanting out for a long time. And they were just holding off.
Or we won't let him leave. You're gonna stay here with us even longer. Extend his stuff. Let him stay here.
Brody Lee was the last one. Was the last one who requested his release and was kind of put on the back burner for a long time. But I said on several different things that I did this week, this is what WWE does. They're not gonna, because he wants the release. Now they're gonna make it. They're gonna sit on him, and he's not gonna be released until that post Mania release.
They're gonna make him work Saudi Arabia. You know that. They're gonna make him work. No,
they're not gonna make him work. They're just gonna sit on him. That's what they do.
They're gonna be attend these shows and stay in the back.
No, not even attend the show. That's the worst thing you could do to Ali is not have anything for him because he's so creative. The worst thing they can do with him is keep him under contract and tell him not to come to work.
Yep, that's true.
That's the worst. He used to be a cop. He's very hardworking. He wants to be at work. So the worst thing you could do to him is not have him show up. Is keep him under contract and make him sit at home and watch it. That's just gonna rip him apart on the inside. Joe, what do you think? You followed a lot of Mustafa Ali's run. I always hear you talking about 205 Live. What would you say is the biggest misstep in Mustafa Ali's run? Because this is a guy. This is a guy.
Background. You got a Halloween Havoc picture in the background with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. That is pretty fucking cool.
That's on like WWE's shop, and no one knows it exists. Like when I tweet a picture, people are like, "Where is this?" Like I found it from some obscure.
Oh, so that's where you bought it from?
It's on WWEshop.com. It's incredible. It's great. People should go.
Sorry, SPT. Come on, that's a cool ass picture.
It is. The light is bad. It's very cool. I appreciate it.
I'm just gonna. Well, I do watch Joe more than everybody else, so this is not the first time.
That's funny.
He was on the show just a few months ago as well. But anyway, Joe, what was the biggest misstep in Mustafa? That's very telling. Mustafa Ali's WWE run, because this is a guy that he was called the heart of 205 Live. Never won the Cruiserweight Championship. He was pegged to verse Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, gets an injury, and the most obvious story for Kofi Kingston's run is Mustafa Ali turning heel and versing him. We don't get that. He was supposed to win the Money in the Bank. He gets told a minute before he goes out to the crowd that he just needs to stand there at the top of the ladder and look stupid. Told he could do the SmackDown hacker gimmick. That was dropped. He was told he could be the leader of Retribution. They just completely dropped that. It's just like, if there was ever a career that could be called missed opportunity, it's Mustafa Ali. But what would you say is the biggest of those missteps?
It's difficult because the obvious one is what leads to Kofi Mania. I don't think any of us want to really give that up, right? So that's just the way it goes. I think he just never got like a real push as a babyface, right? Like the Retribution stuff, he tried his best, but he's a babyface. That's what he like. Anyone that saw his stuff on 205 Live, he was probably the best babyface in wrestling at that time, and he kind of just existed, which they do with a lot of their mid-card guys. He would be on one week and win, he'd be on the next week and lose. A sustained push was really the answer. So you can pick any time. I'd say probably, when he came back in the summer of 2019, and they had the Money in the Bank deal, which you mentioned. If you just give him. Man, he could have won, the IC or the US title and had a run as like the workhorse champ. There's a lot you could have done with him. In terms of I'll be honest, and this could age badly. I think it will be remedied soon, his situation, because I don't think they're going to even wait till Mania to cut guys. Like, I think they're pretty quick on the trigger these days, right? The Mania is like 3 months away. Like, they're like monthly at this point. So I think it will fix itself just because they'll realize that when they do the next cuts, they'll have to. But I've seen it before, and like it's kind of an.
They have a conference call in February for
presenting
their money.
Yeah, well,
there you go.
That feels like a date to circle, but it's kind of nuts how many wrestlers are either free agents or about to be, or like This is going to be a wild time. Like AEW is pretty much full, but I think we all agree that if Mustafa Ali leaves tomorrow, they're signing him, right? Like you don't miss on that dude. So I hope everything works out. Obviously, he's great talent, and it's just been a whole lot of nothing, which is not. He's not alone in that sense. Unfortunately, that's the majority of the guys now. So It's a shame. But yeah, I think just a babyface push is the answer, and he never got that. So.
That's a good point. Krssi Luv, do you think Ali will have to do something to kind of force WWE's hand, or do you think that he should go the Joe route of kind of just letting it play out and WWE kind of just granting his release when they choose fit?
And the Joe way is like a catch-22. Like it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like I'm just gonna like try my best and like just wait. And again, even with Joe, I thought he was already gone. Like it's like, and that's sad because Joe has not even been on TV that long. He was supposed to be champion. He was injured. All these things. I'm like, wasn't he released already? So it's like, poor Mustafa. Like the writing was on the retribution was like the pits of the pits. Like that was, and he tried his best. He really, really did. Mm-hmm. They missed the opportunity with Kofi. I think that would have been a great way, a good story to have for like 2-3 pay-per-views, maybe. Like that would have been something really good. But WWE is their own worst enemy. They will be the reason for their downfall. They only are up right now because they have the money and the resources. If they didn't have these things, they would be gone and closed down. It's because of who runs that company. But I don't think they're in the business of giving us wrestling anymore. They want to just entertain, and that is it. And then the entertainment is not even all that good anymore.
I wouldn't even say they want to entertain. They just want to make money. That's what they want to do.
Okay, they want to sell merch and make money off people. And it's like, they really need to like reevaluate what we'll talk about SmackDown, because that, again, like how are you giving these shows and people are paying good money to go see these shows, and you're not even giving them good, decent wrestling matches. Like
Mustafa Ali would have been nice to see him on that show last night.
He could have definitely been on that show. It's really sad. It's really sad.
We got Tope Suicida who says sleep deprived Joe struggling to keep that top guy JJ energy.
It's 4 p.m., man, and I'm sitting here slacking. Like it's like is it
the middle of the fucking day. Wake up!
Oh, man,
I'm sorry.
Like Jesus Christ! Like I haven't done this podcast in like 6 years, and I damn near forgot to wake up this morning.
We do have a question here from a first time watcher, Candy Ting, who says, "Question: Will Cody ever turn heel?"
Oh my God,
Joe.
I no longer talk about Cody SP3. You were there for our roundtable. I refuse to discuss him any further on public forums. I did an hour and a half show with SP3 and others, and we talked about it in detail, and no more. He's already a heel. Maybe he's not.
That is one of the greatest podcasts ever done, where I went in depth about my rivalry with Cody Rhodes and why I hated him for such a long time, and why I'm enjoying this whole conflicting status of the fans currently.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Some folks say he's already a heel, so yes, I guess. I don't know, man.
Okay.
Yes-ish. We got a super chat donation from Real Take Sports. Thank you, good brother. It says, keep up the good work, fam. Love the growth, and the Titans about to board the L train.
Go fuck yourself.
But thank you for the super chat.
Y'all can keep that whole $4.99. When you are just trying to troll me,
they don't want to see you win, friend. They really don't want to see you win.
Like see us shine. It's okay. Y'all don't like to see us shine.
And
so
your team been doing good all season long, and they don't want.
Yeah, and that little piece of shit, Jared Bailey. I tried to get that motherfucker to apologize, and he just refused to. He predicted us to be 8-9. Another piece of shit. Just want to put that out there. Number one seed.
Jared, no, that's our friend. No, you can't say that though.
That's our star, Krssi. He's on our soap opera.
He'll know where the love is coming from. He'll know where it's coming from. This is all about football.
One of our 2 shows that we're going to produce. SP.
This is about football. It's about football. This is not about how I feel about him. This is about football.
Are you sure?
Jesus. Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
Romeo has something.
I'm very aggressive. See, look at this scumbag. Look at another scumbag right here. I love this guy, but I fucking hate him today.
We should do a watch along for the game.
For Patreon. I think y'all should. For the Patreon.
I don't know if y'all could handle me watching football for 3 hours.
Yes.
You think I'm animated on a podcast? Jesus Christ! I would break your fucking speakers.
All right, I have
break
a meme.
Your fucking speakers.
I have a meme. I said, would you mind taking that? There we go. All right, here it is. We need to do budget cuts. Who do we release? Ricochet. Gunther. Can I get released?
Get that out of here.
Absolutely. This is a very accurate release of WWE headquarters currently.
Who's the other guy?
I guess
that was Bruce.
I know Bruce. Who's the other one that's next to Bruce?
Ali. I don't know.
No, the one that said Ricochet.
Nick Khan. That's Nick Khan.
Nick Khan.
Yeah. John Jeffrey says, can see AEW attempt to sweep this under the carpet by trying to sign Strickland, Keith Lee, Athena. Whether they want to go there could be a different story after what has happened. Could y'all see AEW? I could totally see AEW doing something like this. I mean, if you want a deep rant about Tony Khan and his treatment of African Americans, go and check out AE Ramble episode 26, where Jimmy Macaram came up with the term Jay Lethal. He said Jay Lethal wasn't on the show, so Lee Moriarty was there to fill the Negro hole. That's how Tony Khan views it. He's got to replace one Negro for another. So Leo Rush is gone. Strickland, Keith Lee. Seems like there might be possible.
He's about right. Yeah.
We got John Blunt who says they did to FTR and Brody.
Yes, FTR. That's enough. FTR. Yes.
FTR was like, no, we want to go, and it was like, no, you're gonna stay here longer.
No, we're gonna give you the most meaningless title reign ever.
This is the longest one. Yeah, same with Pac. Pac was the one they sat his ass at home for months.
Oh, yes. Mr. Neville. Neville.
There was like rumors about him that he'd like go out of shape and shit because no one had seen him. He doesn't do social media or anything. So
that part, yep.
And then he came back and looked exactly the same because, of course, he looked bigger if anything. So that was interesting.
That was very, very interesting those times. We got Real Take Sports as a Pakistani American. It's tough to see someone who honestly inspires me being used so badly by the biggest wrestling company in the world. So disappointing. Yes, indeed. The Ali treatment is very disappointing because he could do a lot more for them.
Yep.
That's the honest part.
It's a market. They don't understand. Like,
come on,
people want to.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
People want to see, especially little kids. Kids want to see people that look like them. This is the representation. Like, you're not doing it. He's not. You put the same people on every week, and that's fine. However, you still have other people that, even when they're in their hometowns, you don't even give them the credit that they deserve, or let them even be on the show, or home shows, and all that stuff. You don't do it at all for nobody. So it's like the money, you want to make money, you can make money. Let them do it. Like you just are such control freaks and so stuck in like 1982. It'll never, WWE will start. It's just this trickle of the downhill, slow downhill because they have money, but it's the slow downhill of where they won't have anybody at their company no more.
I just don't understand why WWE doesn't keep the same energy. Like, you literally had someone come to you with their own idea in Nikki ASH, came up with the idea, you let it happen. It failed, as we obviously a lot of us thought it would. But at least you were, if however you felt about it, Vince, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, you let her do it and fail or succeed.
Yep.
Why don't you let that happen with Ali?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Constantly throughout his career, he's just not able to. We got Ace Shock here. It says, to Krssi, is this the downfall of the top two companies?
In different ways, though. It's different ways. WWE's downfall right now, they have lost their love for giving us wrestling. They have lost the love of entertaining people. It's more of now a cash cow for them. It's no more. They don't care about the people, even though they went out there and had Paul say all that shit. They had Steph say all that. They don't give a shit about nothing that what we say. We could tweet, we could do all this stuff. It don't even matter to them anymore. They don't care. They don't care. They just want to get money, and we go on to the next show. That's really what it is. And it's sad because a diehard wrestling fan like myself, when they come to my city, I will not go. I do not even purchase their merch anymore. I don't even want to wear their shirts anymore. That's how bad it is. I do have one on right now, and that's only because I love Bailey. That is why. Other than that, I'm just gonna keep wearing plain t-shirts because I don't even when I have merch and it's a person that's released, I don't want to wear that person's shirt no more. They're gone now. They don't even represent the company. Why do I want to wear those shirts? Like, they're all gone. I might as well throw all of them all away. So that's that one downfall. AEW, on the other hand, their downfall is that they have a lot of talk, but nothing to back it up. If that makes any sense. You said you was going to do all of these things. You said you were going to be so different, but you are not. You are proving it. You are making your downward spiral because you are just like the other ones. You cannot, you keep doing the same thing that you said you wasn't going to do. And especially when you said these things and you could have just plain apologized. You just say nothing at all. You just dug yourself in a deeper hole. Someone should take Tony Khan's phone. Plain and simple. Like, someone should, maybe I don't know if someone should watch his phone, because that's just really what it is.
At this point, yeah, it's getting to that point where they need like a PR department that just does everybody's social media.
Yes, yes.
Candy Ting says, I feel sorry for Mustafa. They keep dragging a carrot, so to speak, in front of him and pulling it away. He is hardworking for sure. And it's very sad.
Yep.
What's unfortunate about Ali is that none of the ideas are WWE created, so they won't push any of them. Yeah. Like, everything he does is none of it is a figment of their creation, so they're gonna hate on it. And then it's a very bottom line thing with W. If they don't have a heavy influence in what this is gonna become, they don't want nothing to do with it. It has been tried and true for years upon years upon years, and the fact that if you say 1982 and believe that was 40 years ago, how old do you feel? Like,
he thinks this is the time when Terrence was still there. That's what it is.
And you can't really. For Mustafa Ali, where's the buzz in professional wrestling right now? All the buzz is on all these motherfuckers debuting. There's like 97 debuts that happened in AEW. Where's the wrestling buzz? You need to. I would definitely go the opposite route of just sitting around and waiting. I would cause as much motherfucking stir as possible to get your name on some papers, because right now, the names that's on papers right now, most recently is Brody King. Like, you got all of these people that is just taking headline after headline after headline. Where's the space for you if you just chill? There's no space for you. There's so many headlines in wrestling right now. I'd create my own.
And there's going to be more, right? Like, there's going to be,
It's going to be more.
Keith Lee, a Samoa Joe. These guys are going to land somewhere, and that's going to be big news. And we'll talk about on these shows. And right, it's just, that's the problem, is you get kind of frozen out if you just sit and wait. It's difficult.
Yeah, and with Ali, he's never had the big wrestling moment reputation. Right. So there's going to be a lot of people that really don't know about him because he's never been given the push. He's never been given the rocket.
But they give people like Jinder Mahal pushes. I don't understand.
I mean, all right. So,
just saying.
All they had to do,
just saying, if we're going to like
Retribution, all they had to do with Retribution is make them fucking win. That's all he had to do, is make them win to be believable. You have to just make them win. They lost every fucking match for 2 months.
Because all the mistakes they made with Retribution, Ali kind of tried his best to kind of put a bow on it. Yeah, I gave them these stupid names to remind them what WWE gives them stupid names. Okay, fine. That's fine. Good. He connected the hacker gimmick to Retribution. Okay, good. Tied that up. Like, he did everything he could, and he was just continuously let down by the company. We got someone supporting Top Guy JJ in the chat for once, saying Titans the fuck up. Winter has come.
Winter.
Hashtag King for MVP. Matt and Caleb Graham saying that one. We also got CM who says Jimmy was right.
Yes.
We got Dick Jackson who said Jimmy wasn't wrong. And yes, I did, folks. I did send Jimmy a link for this show because I was like, I don't know if I could wait for Wednesday to hear his response to this news. And Will Chisholm says, I'm going to laugh when Jimmy hears this news. Yes, we will bring it up. I'll bring it up at the top of the show on Thursday if he's not able to join us here. Valaba says, is any attempt to push black talent in AEW tainted now? What do you think, Krssi?
It's not tainted. It's just spoiled, maybe, if that makes sense. That's a better word I'll choose. Because they're giving Jade this push right now. She's very green, but they're giving her this push right now. I don't want to say they made that because of what he did with Big Swole. I'm not gonna say that, but that's how I felt. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
They're saying this, so let them be quiet just for like 2.5 seconds, and we'll give it to Jade. And, we'll let her win. Great. So, I feel like it's very spoiled right now. The milk is there, but it doesn't. It's like it's expired.
Yeah,
that's how
there's
I'm
gonna
feeling.
That's how I feel. There's going to be a lot of folks who just side-eye anything AEW does.
Yeah,
like they did, like the whole mixtape that they're coming out to celebrate Black History Month. That got the side-eye. Jade getting the title got the side-eye. So these things are going to get the side-eye because of the comments made by Tony Khan.
It's just like when they have like the LGBT when it's June. Like, don't do it when it's just a month for us. Just do it all damn year. Like, don't do that.
It's similar to what WWE did, where they celebrated Pride Month, and then when you look at the graphic for to celebrate Pride Month, all those people got released. They literally only had them for Pride Month.
Yeah.
Josh Baker says, "I think Ali needs to keep making noise. It increases the odds of either a release or more TV time. Either way is good."
Yeah, that's the point. To literally make the noise, to make a sound. So obviously your name is now ringing bells. So one, if they put you on TV, great. Now you make the most of that shit. And if you get released, boom, somebody's gonna want you off rip because you're a fucking talent that has just not
make
been.
Make your social media stand up. Like talk about like do little vignettes on your pages.
Yeah, he's great at that. He's great.
And it'll get people speaking. And like I said, it can either be good or it can be bad. You want to leave? I'm going to do the hell out of these things. Maybe they'll want to push you even more. Who knows? Like, that's a very good comment. Very good.
So we talked about one free agent. We got to bring up another from AEW. Cody Rhodes is a free agent since the end of 2021. Fightful Select reported on Monday that current TNT champion. Oh, wow. Yes. Look at this. Look at this. Every single one of them. Jake Atlas released. Tony Storm walked out. Mercedes Martinez released. Taya Valkyrie released.
Incredible.
Why are they all? But they're not even all gay though.
But why is Taya Valkyrie?
Tony Storm is bisexual, and I think
right. I'm about to say,
Taya Valkyrie is
Taya Valkyrie is like a whole married,
but she can still be bisexual.
I think they explained it.
Girls. Okay, got it. Okay,
I get it.
Never mind.
Be fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not going to comment on this.
I said like my wording exactly, folks, was Taya Valkyrie can still be bisexual even if she's married. So
no, she can be. Yeah.
Okay.
Cody's contract expired at the end of.
Believe my comment about Joe Morrison. Never mind. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wow.
Just leave it there. Okay. Cody's contract expired at the end of 2021, and he's been working in All Elite Wrestling without a contract ever since. Based on sources that Fightful followed up with in AEW, they were told that some have known about this in the past several weeks. In speaking with Sports Illustrated recently, Cody stated, "As of now, my future is with AEW." He says AEW would be very strange without the core members of the Revolution. We all still talk. We all all have this admiration for each other. I can't see myself anywhere else. I'm very optimistic about what the future holds. In addition, the report says that there were some originally reported contract lengths in AEW that differed from what they actually were. Fightful reached out to Cody for comment, but the only thing that he had to say is that he's a free agent with no contract with AEW at the moment. Joe, what was your reaction to the news of Cody Rhodes being a free agent?
Lots of laughter. Very excited about him.
Right.
Very excited about him going back to WWE and just giving us so much fun stuff to talk about while WWE fans pretend they're not mad. And then obviously the conclusion we all drew, which was like, well, he's not going to go anywhere. So anyway,
that part, that's the part right there. Yep.
That's where we're ending up. It's a hilarious story. The one thing I'll say is there is probably a real story in terms of Cody's. Like, it does feel like stuff's changed, right, since AEW started. Like, he does feel separate from the other guys, which is fine. It happens, but it don't feel like he's going anywhere. It doesn't. It certainly doesn't.
But whose fault is that though? That he feels separate.
Well, I sense there's stuff there that no one's, that people are kind of not talking about. I feel. I don't know, but like Wade Keller had the story, right? He was the one that reported there's like a conflict between him and the other EVPs, and I'm not saying they hate each other.
Okay, then that makes sense. Yes.
I'm just saying that a lot of the stuff they do say about each other sound like, the ex that you kind of talk to, but you don't. Like, we all still talk. We all have this admiration for each other. Like, you're trying to like make it sound good for where you're at in your relationship.
We're all still friends.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think that's the part that probably it won't matter because we feel like he's re-signing, right? Like, where's he gonna go? Let's be honest.
Where's he going? He's not gonna. He's like his own boss. Like, he's not going over to he's not going to Vince. Like, this just be for him to even put this shit out is just dumb. Like, this is stupid. I'm sorry. This is a waste of media people's time. It's a waste of us talking about it because we all know he's not going no damn place. Him and Brandy, they staying right there.
I mean, for all the people out there that got views on it, all the people out there that got views on it, kudos to y'all, but this ain't even a story.
No.
I was gonna say how funny that this news came out on Martin Luther King Day.
Well, if you would have saw my 3 count with SP3, I have redone it. I have done it, people. So here it is. The I have an American nightmare speech.
Lord.
No.
I have an American nightmare that one day my young biracial little daughter will not be judged by the content of her skin, but by the content of my wrestling character. I have an American nightmare today. Yes, Cody Rhodes. That was an exact quote from Cody Rhodes from January 17th, 2022. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. I don't have sources. Do you think there is any possibility that Cody would leave AEW to maybe go through the forbidden door to other promotions? Not WWE, but maybe use this as a tool for his character to explore different places. Top guy, JJ?
No, this is just a desperate play for another story. Like, this is whatever it takes to keep Cody relevant, and it's a good thing because it obviously got people talking, it got people doing shows. But come on, guys, come on, like really, like he's an EVP for fuck's sakes. Like, come on, like he's gonna leave that to just become an in-ring talent for Vince McMahon again? That ain't happening. Like, his next contract in AEW will probably be his last because he's probably going to pursue acting and TV. Like we already know he's going to probably retire before 40. So all of these hopes about him.
That makes sense, yes.
Runs, all these late runs, you can see it's not in Cody's future. Cody has got bigger aspirations. He wants to do so many more things and probably have more kids. So, like, I cannot see Cody being anywhere else but AEW. And this whole WWE tease, I ain't buying it at all. I'm buying it not one bit because you ain't taking that big of a down step just to get another couple bucks. Just to be like, here, I made myself a bigger star just to say, oh, I stuck it to you. Like, no, he ain't about that shit. He got too much other shit going on to worry about that.
he's also, for all of his flaws, he's too smart. He knows they would fuck with him bad if he went back there, man.
Oh my God! What?
It would be brutal. He knows
Crazy.
that. He's too aware to, he'd get it. So.
If that shit ever happens, Vince won. Vince won.
I don't-
That ever happens, he won.
That part.
I believe Cody will go back to WWE. I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Maybe in like 5 or 6 years. I can see him doing it just to make one last run at, getting a main event push in WWE. I can totally see it. And we do have, yes, 100%. If you hear what Cody says,
maybe he could be like
listen to what Cody says. A lot of that says that he will go to WWE. He might retire before he's 40. That's his goal. Retire before he's 40. But I guarantee you, 3 years in retirement, he's going to look at his career and be like, the only thing I didn't accomplish is main event spot in WWE. And then at that point, a long run with AEW, long run with all these other promotions, WWE will see him as a star, and he could possibly have a bigger spot than where he left. We do have an update about Lio Rush from Fightful Select that was just posted up by Sean Ross Sapp. Go over there and check out Fightful Select. Definitely worth the value of the subscription. And Fightful learned that many talent and staff at Rampage last night became aware that Lio Rush wouldn't be remaining with the company. From AEW side, Fightful was told that the contract expiration is one of many that is running out over the next month or so, and there's a possibility that some of those expirations will be used moving forward. Lio Rush spoke about AEW and Tony Khan to Fightful, and he said, "It's always a cool thing when you have somebody passionate about what you love doing. Tony is clearly and incredibly passionate about professional wrestling. A lot of this excitement bounces off people, and his energy is very contagious when it comes to wrestling. It's cool to have a boss that thinks of wrestling in that aspect. When it comes to me in particular, it was a nice feeling to have someone with that much influence and power say this guy is good and I want him as part of my company. That's such a compliment, a really cool compliment. I'm super appreciative of that." Oh man, this is the time for that Bianca Belair meme. He also said I got offered a deal initially.
Which
and
one? Show it.
Things happen, things change. The world of wrestling has changed. I will say this is no secret. This is me pointing out the obvious. I'm a lone wolf. I go where I want. I like putting things on my resume. I like working different places and wrestling anybody and everybody. We've seen that since I left WWE. I've been to AAA, MLW, AEW, New Japan. My independence is very important. It's very important for my mental stability. I never really like being stuck in one place, especially if I don't have control over that. So that second part, I will say, makes it sound like a little bit that this may be more of Leo's decision than what a lot of fans will initially think.
Okay, well, that's fine.
It's difficult to say with where the world's at, but just from the outside looking in, I think Japan would be a really good home base for him, where he could still do the stuff, what he wants to do. As a junior heavyweight in New Japan, I think he could be spectacular, right? And he hasn't had a chance to actually tour, right? So that's I honestly, I don't know the situation, but when he was listing the places he's worked, that feels like the best spot for him to kind of be consistently. I think that'd be interesting.
And they need players in that junior heavyweight division because it's Hiromu and the Pimps.
There's been a lot of guys. If you look through history, there's a lot of guys that the bullshit of US wrestling isn't for. Major League US wrestling with all the nonsense that fit great there. And I think he could in ring. Obviously, we all know he's good enough to do that. So that'll be interesting.
Very, very interesting situation.
Ask a quick question. I think just with this latest news, with another company that signs Lio Rush, is it looking like maybe a little bit of commitment issues to be able to stick with the place, or do you think that he just hasn't found the right contract to keep him stable?
I don't think he wants a contract. That's what I took from those
I think
commitment issues. He's got commitment issues. Got it.
I don't even think it's commitment issues. It's when you are in WWE, we've seen many a time, Jon Moxley, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, they feel like they're in a fucking prison. So when you're in a prison, you don't want to get locked into a long-term place where you think that might become a prison.
Yeah, WWE is a prison in itself. But we ain't talking about WWE. I'm just like talking about all these other companies though, because he could have gotten himself a nice contract in AEW, but I just don't know if he even wanted it.
I do worry that, like, you know, a lot of these wrestling bookers and you know, they want good soldiers, right? They just don't ask questions. They just go there and do the match. They lose. They do what. Leo, like, he thinks for himself. He's going to say what he thinks about what he's doing, and I just I think it's a good question because I do kind of worry about that part of his career, right? Like, I completely respect what he's doing, but I could see the folks in decision making kind of looking the other way, unfortunately.
Which is not gonna basically is saying because now a company is not gonna want to dive all the way into you because they don't trust you. Like they don't trust the fact that you're gonna stick around for more than 6 months to a year. Like if we want to build a character, build a story, build timelines without talent, we can't do that or trust you because AEW just trusted that with him and Dante Martin, and he just left them high and dry. Like you're not even thinking about the other side because Dante Martin now needs a storyline. That storyline gone. That whole shit gone. That whole investment thing, that partnership, that shit that Dante Martin wasted 4 months of his career on, that shit doesn't even exist anymore. So it's like, look at the other side too. Like, can you actually trust this man?
Right.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's, you know, there's some stories now, right? It piles up very quick, and I think we all get it, but it is hard. Absolutely.
Feel bad for Team Taz. They keep getting these stories that just have these missteps, and Team Taz has no holes. Like they're the rare stable where there's not a wink link. Like you got Ricky Starks who can talk like a main eventer. You got Powerhouse Hobbs who everybody sees as a future main eventer, and then you got the future star of the business, Hook, racial ambiguous.
Taz promo too, right? That's a great faction. I agree with you. They need a nice hot program coming up here. They've had some real tough luck in recent months. Absolutely.
It's very sad setbacks. MCAT says SP3, you ain't right. Cody said he really effed up that promo and feud up with Ogogo. That's to say the least.
Our American hero.
John Jeffries says Cody solved racism all in one go.
Absolutely.
Will Chisholm says SP3, you get 7 stars for that one. Thank you. I came up. I got the quote directly from Cody. Tope Sudacia said he was legitimate political aspirations. Talking about Cody. But John Blunt says, but guys, he solved racism. Cody for president 2024. Absolutely.
You know what?
Absolutely.
His black was that Sonic the Hedgehog on his thing? Who looks black?
Why the hell would Cody leave a product he built? Makes no sense at all. Yes, very true. We got Jose Gonzalez joining us saying, what up, everyone? I will see you See you later, Jose. Crushing you in the trivia challenge. Good to see you, though. Josh Baker says, I think Leo is too creative to wait around for stories. I think he could be brought back for specific storylines and then cycle off again after. Could you see him returning back to AEW in kind of like a non-permanent role?
Yes. Absolutely.
It's just
he doesn't. It's sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead. Good.
I just feel like he doesn't like to be stuck in one place. It's like you said, it was a prison over there. So he feel like he can have his wings and spread them out and fly. I could do something over here. Let me sprinkle something over here. Let me get these bags different places. Like I don't have to be stuck in one shell. So maybe they like having these like short-term contracts where they can go and like venture off and do things. We speak on Twitter, IG, all those things. Let's sprinkle. I think what AEW is showing that you don't have to be tied down to just one company. You can have your name, you can be relevant, you can be in different locations, if that makes sense.
For sure. I think we all agree he's talented enough to do that, right? Like he can absolutely come in and play a role. My concern would be with the amount of wrestlers they need to get on the show as is, I think it's going to be hard for someone like him to come in as a guest spot, you know? Leo's great, but like the guys that are going to fill that role are probably going to be more like bigger stars that have had runs on top. And like Leo, I think we all think he could be that bigger star, but he just isn't. It hasn't happened yet. So I would love that. AEW's roster's big, right? Like it's really hard to have guys coming in and out. It's difficult, but they do it sometimes. So it could happen for sure.
They can make it happen. We got a bunch of people. Reese Harris echoing Leo in the best of the Super Juniors would be incredible. Frantic World says, now we know why Jay Lethal is with Dante Martin. Yes, we got the answer. Bill's Mafia STF says Leo's deal being 6 months to begin with, says Leo might have thought about doing this from the jump. Yeah, that is
Probably
true.
so, yeah. Yeah,
that is true. CM put it the best. Leo was test driving the company.
So it's like, how can you invest in storylines in this? Like, how can you invest time in this? Like, you're saying quick storylines in and out. Like, what the fuck are you gonna sit here and create for 2 weeks and then take away other people's time that's actually committed to the company? Like, you got to think about both sides. Like, if your company is committed to this crop of wrestlers, and you got this one, he's really talented, but he ain't gonna stick around for more than a cup of tea. Are you gonna really give him all your TV time and then backseat all of these other AEW's roster is immensely large.
Yeah.
AEW's roster is huge.
Yeah.
So are you really gonna take these guys off TV for somebody that's gonna stick around for more than a cup of tea?
And as you know, it sounds mean, but it's like that angle with Dante Martin was more than a lot of guys have got on AEW TV.
Yes.
Like, it's hard.
Rampage and Dynamite.
Right. I think someone mentioned earlier Ring of Honor
that part
as a fit. Ring of Honor is a really interesting one because they're not doing contracts when they come back. Yeah. And that's a place maybe Leo could kind of work, just literally show to show. I mean, if you do like Gresham and Leo as the top program there for a little bit, that's saying to me, he was had its own issues, but like it's a different time. I hope that could be something to look into. I hope it works out. I mean, he's very, very talented.
Yeah. And then one more comment to highlight here. Frantic World says, SP3 is right. WWE messes some wrestlers' minds up. Leo needs to be a free agent. Maybe he can come back to AEW. Maybe not. We shall.
Hope, that's that false hope.
We shall see for sure, but we got to get into the rest of the news here, where we're going to be talking about what we missed last night. AEW Rampage on TNT. They had a jam-packed show. This was honestly one of my favorite episodes of Rampage. Jon Moxley made his in-ring return, defeated Ethan Page in a gritty, physically intense opener. Trent Beretta beat Nick Jackson in a breathtaking encounter. And Nick Jackson in singles matches is the guaranteed banger in professional wrestling today. Hook defeated Serpentico in convincing fashion. Didn't even let the man take off his kimono or let his streamers get off. Just completely dominated him. And then suplex QT Marshall on the ramp. And then Jade Cargill beat Anna Jay to retain the TBS title in the main event in a match that was much better than her TBS championship win over Ruby Soho, in my opinion. These two ladies with about 80 matches combined went out there and had a very enjoyable main event to the show. Miss Krssi Luv, what did you think about Rampage, and more especially the opener here setting up Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson, which got everybody hyped on social media, as well as the main event with Jade Cargill? What did you think?
Didn't see all of Rampage because I was doing my SmackDown review with Romeo and Josh. Oh, there, yes, a little cheap plug right there. Excuse me, with Teddy Turnbuckle. Anywho, what was the last two matches, which was really good. But yes, I do agree with you. The Jade match with Anna was much better than the one she did with Ruby Soho. She just has to get more matches underneath her belt. I feel like she will get better as she goes on. Because she's super, super green, but she's a star. She's like, the people are behind her. So, she's like that big, and I like Jade. So, and I'm happy that they let the main event of the Rampage show. It was good for them. I think they did really, really well. So I did enjoy that. I did go back and watch the Jon Moxley and what's his name?
Ethan Page.
You just said it. There you go. Thank you. I thought that was good. Of course, I saw Hook because I'm a hooker. You got me hooked now. See.
Hookers out on these streets. Number one hooker out on these streets is me, sir. Like the future of the business. Racially ambiguous hook. Oh my Lord. Joe, you were covering Rampage last night. What did you think of the show, and what was the biggest highlight?
Better than SmackDown.
A better question for you: what do you think was the match of the night between those first two matches, which is very close?
I think the match of the night was probably Trent and Nick Jackson. But I'll be honest in saying that I like, personally, Ethan Page and Mox was the one that I was there. I mean, having Mox back's a big one for me, right? My enjoyment in AEW very much suffered with him out. And, like, you know, I'm glad he dealt with it. But
Wow.
dude was missed, man. He's different, right?
Yes.
We've got a lot of
He
great
was
wrestlers,
missed,
but
yes.
Mox he's singular and he has a special energy, and it was great. And Ethan Page, I think, and I've been consistent on this, like, he doesn't stand out, but he is someone you can really trust in spots like that one, you know? Really solid. He can cut good promos, he can have good matches.
Yep.
I thought the whole show was a home run. And to circle back to what you both talked about, like, that's the best Jade has looked in ring by like a distance.
Yes.
And what that tells you is that's who she can be when she's comfortable with her opponent.
Yes.
Her and Anna Jay have clearly shared a lot of training sessions together, right?
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of getting her there with the other women, because she didn't look, you know, her feet wasn't messy. She didn't look awkward. She looked it was sharp.
Like they was practicing before they went out there.
So it's a matter of getting her to that level of comfort with a Ruby or a Thunder Rose or whoever. I think the Rampage, that's honestly one of the best episodes they've ever done. It was almost perfect. So, yeah, I liked all of it, but having Mox back is a big one for me personally, definitely.
Yeah, like I said, I would really call this one of the better episodes and probably my favorite episode of Rampage. And I agree with you about Jade. There was just something to her where she was just a lot more confident, and she was doing what I've been asking her to do, which is fill in the spots where she's looking unsure with playing to the crowd. And she was doing that great in this matchup. But we also had SmackDown last night. WWE SmackDown had a night of returns with Eric Bischoff, Jeff Jarrett, Summer Rae, and Johnny Knoxville, as well as Big E and Kevin Owens from Raw appearing. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens defeated the Usos by DQ when Roman Reigns interfered with the win for Rollins and KO. The Usos are banned from ringside at the Royal Rumble. Sonya Deville screwed Naomi once again in her match against SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. After some convincing from Eric Bischoff, Adam Pearce made Naomi versus Sonya for next week, and Johnny Knoxville once again got the better of Sami Zayn in another insane segment with him testing out
that name, first of all.
Self-defense weapons on himself, which was very, very entertaining and a very telling of this men's Royal Rumble push, that the best thing about this push is Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. It's very, very telling. But a night of returns, which one stood out to most to you, Krssi?
None of them.
Thank you. Thank you. This is the expert analysis you can get on Teddy Turnbuckle YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because we were WWE legend Summer Rae. Really? Wow. Where? When? Tell me what time and day did that happen? I'll wait.
Yeah, she's a legend because she hasn't been on TV in a while. Now she's back. That makes her a legend to her.
Yeah, sure. Great. What I do not understand is, like, people like Ali want stories, but you have a story that has been implanted in us for I don't know how long, and it still hasn't gotten anywhere. What is the end game for Sonya Deville? What is the reason that she keeps being the fungus underneath Naomi's fingernails? What is the problem? I don't understand it. What is the end game?
We're literally 5 months into the story, and they're still trying to figure out why Sonya Deville. Yes. And they're still trying to figure out why Sonya Deville dislikes Naomi and doing this. 5 months into the story, we are still asking this question. Top Guy JJ, I know you haven't been watching WWE, but are you interested in Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble?
First of all, I didn't even know this match is happening because I don't watch WWE. Like, I have not watched WWE in over a month, so I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. So, no idea what's going on. When I saw them, so there's like a final straw of when you see release after 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 fucking release. Like, it's like, no, I can't follow this company. I cannot follow these people anymore, and it's over for me. Like, it's been over for me for a while now. I probably won't watch this brand until WrestleMania. I'm done with this fucking place right now. Have not watched Raw. Have not watched SmackDown. Have no interest in any of that. It just sounds like I'm not missing shit at all anyway. It sounds like a bunch of trash happening on there. The fact that Summer Rae has been promoted as a return is fucking laughable. Like, when the fuck did this happen? When did Summer Rae? I had to get reminded who that was, but I was like, okay, all right, I guess he was one of them hot chicks from the Divas era. WWE,
was she really
not tolerate WWE. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I haven't watched clips. I haven't watched it. Yeah, sorry.
I can tell you what I remember of Summer Rae being the Fandango girl, and then she tried to replace Lana. That's all I remember from her. Other than that, I don't remember anything else she did.
That's actually a reminder.
Right or wrong?
There you go.
I'll wait. People in the
comments, I was like,
please tell me if I'm wrong. I can admit I will admit I was wrong. I will eat crow. Tell me if I was wrong. That's all I'm just saying. What has Summer Rae done?
I remember her for Total Divas. That should tell you everything. Exactly. Everything you need to know, ladies and gentlemen.
That was on
asking me about WWE right now. I haven't watched this bullshit product in God knows how long.
You'll notice that I with the whole Summer Rae segment, I just sat here because I ain't getting that Twitter trouble, man. I'm
I tell you, man.
Exactly. You see me not saying anything, right?
I ain't saying shit.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you.
I'll say it then. Okay.
It's a bit of advice. Y'all. I'm just saying it off whip. Not watching WWE has been a lot less stressful not seeing it. It's just been so, my blood pressure has dramatically went down. My voice is 100% intact still. I'm in a great place right now with selective wrestling companies. I'm in a great place.
You are. You've made the right choice for your sanity. But we also this week had AEW Dynamite on Wednesday on TBS. They did 1.032 million viewers, so definitely an improvement from last week. They did 969,000 viewers. Jon Moxley made his return on the show and cut a passionate promo about battling his demons. Honestly, I can't do it justice. I did my best on AE Ramble, but not going to try it again. Cody Rhodes also returned with an all over the place yet compelling promo, talking about everything
compelling,
from
really compelling. You think so?
Yeah, because the fans that were booing them, a lot of them started cheering them and getting into the promo. So I can only go by the live fans. Everything from the Young Bucks versus Red Dragon to CM Punk's pipe bomb to Brody King to Brody Lee, and set up a TNT Championship ladder match against Sammy Guevara at Beach Break next week. Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker DMD defeated Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander in a very fun opener. CM Punk washed Shawn Spears in 12 seconds. Sting and Darby Allin defeated the Acclaim in the main event as well. Joe, what was the highlight for you, the number one highlight on Dynamite this week?
A little bit of a different answer in that I'm not going to pick any individual segment. The highlight for me was TK mixing up the booking a little bit. There was no interference finishes, which I believe he did like 5 times a week before this one.
Yes.
The backstage attacks were a little bit different. The Gun Club one was shot differently, and the Layla Hirsch one was something they'd been building to.
Yes.
I thought those little adjustments made the show better immediately. They had got into a habit of, like, you knew what angles were coming, right? Like, you'd seen how they'd done things. Mixing up changed a lot. Now, if I was to single one thing, and in the same line of thinking, having CM Punk just win. More of that. Not everyone needs to go 12 minutes with CM Punk. You know, he can just beat some guys. Because then, when he gives someone like Lee Moriarty 10, 12 minutes, then it matters and it means something. If he does it every week, I think it wears off. So I love that. I thought it was their best Dynamite in quite some time. So big thumbs up from me.
That was probably the Dynamite that I enjoyed the most watching, especially like the first hour or so. Right. Like I will say the quality kind of dipped for me in the second hour.
Some pacing issues, right? Yeah.
The first hour was just hitting on every single level. So I definitely agree with you about CM Punk. That was the best kind of follow-up for last week, where he was completely dominated by Wardlow, and he made him look too good to the point that now I want to see Wardlow versus MJF more than CM Punk versus MJF. So
Yep.
yeah, we needed that win for CM Punk here. Top guy JJ, what was the highlight for you?
Honestly, for me, the Moxley promo, like the Moxley, like that, like I felt that. Like there's not a lot of times where you feel what a man is talking about, and for somebody that has, listen, man, I think most of us have been there to been where he's been. And to see how he's bounced back in that opening part, like get that fucking guy out of here, yo.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here, piece of shit. Like,
Yeah,
I love it. It's just the fact that he just looks great.
Yeah.
He looks great, and it was like literally the most refreshing 8 minutes that I've seen in a long time watching wrestling. Like to see how well he's bounced back from what he was dealing with, because we seen before he left, it was rough. Like it was rough. I was absolutely in love with that. Cody shit was all over the place. Like I didn't know where the fuck he was going. Like he talked about the pipe bomb, and then he talked about NXT developmental, and then he talked about renaming wrestlers, and then he talked about him taking over the Revolution, and then him going to the TNT channel. Like,
and you remember all of that? I don't even remember all that.
I built the forbidden door. I built it.
You know what? Yo, I remember this promo because this was WWE stress level promo. Like I was like, I can't. Like this is too much. Like, this is like the most convoluted shit I've seen in a long time. And it's like, all right, they went from chanting "shut the fuck up," and then 2 minutes later they're chanting his name. And then another 30 seconds, they're yelling at him, "Shut the fuck up" again.
That was incredible. The one dude, like, it was like, 5-6 minutes in, there was one dude that just was like, "Just shut the fuck up." And you could see the rest of the crowd didn't know how. It was something. That was wild.
It was crazy that the crowd responds to that entire promo. Yeah. But Cody just sounded like, you remember, Joe, or remember like the beginning of WWE pay-per-views before they build up a big match, they would always have the person talking underneath the song that would go, do. That's what Cody's promo sounded like. See, there was once a man who sat on the stage and started a revolution. He did all the things. He said he would go to New Japan. Said he would go to ROH. Said he would team up with the Young Bucks. He never said he would team up with the Young Bucks. What the fuck are you talking about, Cody?
It's too much. It's too much. Like
the only thing I can say.
Too much. And he climbs the ladder to end the shit. He climbs the fucking ladder. Like, okay, great. Let's circle it back to your match with Sammy Guevara that no one wants to see. Like, no one.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Sammy Guevara is one of my favorite wrestlers. Period. That's one of my guys. I love that dude from day one. He was one of my riders. He is one of my riders.
Yep.
This pairing does not excite me at all. This does not excite me.
I'm very excited for this matchup because Sammy Guevara in a ladder match is going to be spectacular. Yeah. And Cody Rhodes, whenever he's in a stipulation match, we know we're going to see one spot where he either tries to kill himself or just tries to totally. He has burned himself alive by doing a suplex through a flaming table. He's done a moonsault off a steel cage and broke his foot. He will do something insane in this ladder match. So I would never say that no one is interested in this match. I would say if me personally wasn't. No, you said no. You first said no one. That's why I wanted to correct.
I apologize for that. I'm definitely talking about myself because I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Yes, I felt like it was one of Cody's better promos. I do agree with Ace Shock. It was a little mixture of what made him great in ROH and New Japan, mixed with like his babyface stuff at the beginning of AEW. It's just all over the place because he's playing both characters. He's playing this like split personality type of character right now. So I think that's the reason why it's all of
good. One day he wants to be bad. That's just what it is.
And then explains fully why he won't turn heel.
That's the part that I'm completely out on.
Too much.
I don't need anyone saying the phrase "turn heel."
He even hinted at his fucking contract during the promo.
He
hinted at the contract. Like everything is a work, yo. Like the whole shit. Like goddamn, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Cody references would be much worse if he wasn't on the same episode as Chris Jericho saying GFY. But we had other things we missed this week. Terminus had their first ever show. That is the promotion by Jonathan Gresham and Baron Black over in Atlanta, Georgia. Jonathan Gresham was in the main event against Josh Alexander. They went to a draw after a double pinfall in their ROH original world title match. Bandito beat Baron Black to retain his ROH World Championship. Both champions confronted each other at the end of the night, and then AEW Santana came down to interrupt, and he challenged Gresham for a shot at the ROH Original World title at the next Terminus show, which will also feature Isaiah Swerve Scott, aka Swerve Shane Strickland, on February 24th in Atlanta, Georgia. So big stuff from Terminus this week. WWE NXT 2.0 also we missed this week, 587,000 viewers. And yes, we got to talk about it. Walter defeated Joe's favorite, Roderick Strong, in an excellent main event that absolutely no one is talking about, because then Walter, 870 days as NXT UK champion, been signed with the company since 2019, has even appeared on the main roster at Survivor Series 2019. One loss in his entire WWE career in singles competition. Changed his name to Gunther. Gunther officially after the match. Idris Enofe and Malik Blade defeated Legado del Fantasma, and Creed Brothers beat Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen to advance in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But we got to talk more about Walter changing the Gunther. PW Insider reported early on Tuesday that WWE recently applied for the trademark of the ring name Gunther Stark with the United States Patent and Trademark Offices. Once the news broke, it was revealed that this was the name of a U-boat commander in World War II as part of the Navy of Nazi Germany. Then Walter declared that his name as Gunther on NXT, leading people to believe that he would get the full name. This earned the company considerable amount of backlash online. However, PW Insider reported on Thursday that WWE has abandoned their trademark filing of Gunther Stark, and only days after applying for it, WWE announced yesterday they no longer wish to register the trademark. Joe, I know you were very excited for Walter versus Roderick Strong earlier in the day.
Yes, that is the best one. That is it. That's it right there.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect explanation. Perfect explanation. But Joe, what was your response following NXT 2.0 this week?
Look, I would love to get mad about it. I think it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe they've done it. He legitimately is 2 weeks into his decision to be full-time in America, and they've already changed his name. God bless. I mean, there's something to be said for it, you know? Everyone's worst fears being validated immediately. I thought it was...
This is ridiculous.
It's just, to me, it gets to a point, and I get if people are mad, because if he's one of your favorite wrestlers, especially, I get it. But to me, it gets to a point where you either have to just realize this is what they do and this is who they are and accept it, or you're going to drive yourself crazy, you know? I'm not driving myself crazy anymore. My reaction was laughter, and I was like, you get what you get, you know? I think he was always aware of what could happen if he did this, and good luck to him. I think he'll probably be out of there before long. So it's I get if people are upset or offended or mad. I get it completely. Man, what do you expect, right? Come on now. They've told us enough times who they are. You can either laugh or cry. I'm choosing the first one.
Too many people are choosing to cry.
But I don't understand. Is he was the main draw for UK NXT.
Yep.
And you now bring him to America, and you want to now change his name. What is the purpose? What is the point? He was Walter for a reason. Right. Gunther just sounds like generic It's just even if it's from some world, it doesn't even damn matter. He had this name. It's just like when you did Ali. Okay, now it's not Mustafa Ali. It's just Ali. It's just like now he's what's the other person name that they changed names is Riddle. Now it's just Riddle. Dumb. It's just like you said, we should be used to this, but it's like his name was like a pedestal. It's just like set. He is a name, and this you do this. Fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves.
Well, WWE wants to own the people's names because of trademark purposes, and Walter is
also, when they leave, they don't want to have anything to do. They want to make sure that they can keep all the money. So therefore, we want to change your name so that you don't take this. Go fuck you guys. Like, that shit is ridiculous. That shit is for the fucking person. All they care about is fucking money. There you go. That's the proof in the pudding right fucking there.
Yeah, Romeo, anything to add?
Did you see Finn Balor's tweet?
Yes, I did. I actually responded to it because Finn Balor said that everybody hated on Finn as well, and I retweeted it. And I responded to it, and I was like, "It's a little different, sir. You weren't Prince Devet for 3 years on WWE television, held a title longer than anyone else, then go to the main roster, get a trademark name of a Nazi commander, and then WWE get backlash after everybody Googles it, and then leave you with the scraps. It's a little bit different than getting signed to WWE and having the name change initially."
Can you check real quickly if Finn blocked you?
Probably did.
People need to realize this with Finn, especially. Finn's done giving a shit, man. He's so checked out.
He is too.
Most of the people that work there are. That's why I don't get mad.
Life. You're burnt out if you're not Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. If you ain't one of those 3 dudes, you're fucking basically irrelevant until they call you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Good point. We got a super chat donation from the man JJ saying all hail Double J Jeff Jarrett. So that was his favorite return from SmackDown last night. We also got John Jeffries, who says Summer Rae had 7 wins total in her WWE career. Legend. Wow. That's insane.
See?
That's insane.
See? You know what I'm saying?
Romeo, Krssi, you'll be waiting forever for that response.
See?
Oh my god, that's insane to me. I didn't even know that.
Is there like any background about this? Why the fuck they changed his name? I refuse to call him that. His name is Walter to me forever.
Like I said, I gave you the reason so they can own the name and use it for trademark purposes.
Is that really like
yes?
Ruin a man's career. You're gonna ruin a man's career just to own a name.
This sounds dumb, but I think this is what it is that the new creative forces at NXT 2.0, right?
I'll never call him by that shit. I'll never.
I think
never.
They want to give him a name they like, right? They don't give a shit what we like. Bruce, Vince, those dudes. That's what they're invested in. They want to do. So I think they'll see it as theirs now. They'll probably change some parts of the presentation, and people will roll their eyes at it because the people that care. You're just frustrating them. There's no gain to this, right? You're just making it harder for him. Mm-hmm. But we know that. They do the same thing over and over again. We've seen it before. Like, we've seen this story. So it's just a matter of time to me until he's not there anymore, to be totally honest.
Like Blue Cantrell said, we heard it all before.
No, that's not Blue Cantrell. That's Sunshine Anderson, friend. Sorry.
Whichever on.
Yeah.
WWE
like that.
Same difference to me. WWE Raw, they did 1.6 million viewers. Bobby Lashley defeated Seth Rollins by DQ after interference from the Hurt Business, and then the Usos invaded Raw to lay out Rollins. Kevin Owens defeated Damian Priest in a very good matchup. We also had Becky Lynch and Doudrop beat Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan in a very entertaining segment. The Miz and Maurice got the upper hand on Edge and Beth Phoenix when Maurice laid out Beth with an actual brick that escalated quickly. We got a very entertaining segment with Alpha Academy having a graduation after winning the Raw Tag Team titles, and they were interrupted by RK Bro with Orton giving Chad Gable the RKO to end the segment. And then over on Impact on Access, Josh Alexander defeated Charlie Haas in the main event. After the match, they were both attacked by the ROH 5. Swan, Willie Mack, Heath, and Rhino came out for the save, but were all taken out by the ROH 5 until Eddie Edwards make the save for the Impact roster. Jonathan Gresham beat Steve Macklin to retain the ROH Original World Championship in a Pure Rules match. So a lot of good stuff over on Impact on AXS TV. But that brings us to the rest of the WWE news. Following Kevin Owens re-signing with WWE, it seems his best friend is following suit. It was reported by Wrestling Observer newsletter last month that the backstage chatter was that Sami Zayn has re-signed with WWE, and then Fightful Select officially confirmed it this week. Zayn did actually re-sign with WWE and is locked down for a couple of more years. One person that Fightful talked to around that time said that Zayn was kind of private about negotiations, but that WWE made it clear they wanted to retain his services. Both him and Owens had their contract expired at the end of 2021, so WWE gets a big W by getting both men. Can you ever see Sami Zayn becoming a world champion in WWE, Joe?
No, but I don't think he's. It sounds bad, but I don't think he cares. You know, like I think if you read the stuff he says about his WWE run, he's really happy with the stuff he's doing. And I might roll my eyes at it. I do roll my eyes at a lot of it. There you go. But he's happy with it. And look, he did his body a lot of damage with the stuff he did before WWE. If he wants to do that stuff the rest of his career, good for him. I kind of was always surprised people thought he would leave, to be honest. He always feels like a guy to me that's happy doing his thing, doing the character work, and just being more of an entertainment and that part of the show than trying to have 4-star matches, which I get. Like, he's almost nearly 40 now. Like, I get it. It makes sense. So, yeah, good for him. I don't think he'll be world champ, though, unfortunately.
I definitely kind of see where you're coming from and agree with you there. A couple of comments I see here. We got Bill's Mafia STF says, as a Jewish man, none of this shocked me, and I did laugh as well. This effing company talking about the Gunther name change. Slam and Sammy Joe says, Gunther sounds like a henchman to me. Miss J Wild says, Shotzi Knox, too many to name. Thank you for joining us. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. We got Reese Haynes who says, not German enough, pal. You're going to be Gunther. We got also Bill's Mafia says, I'm sorry to Impact stands, but that ROH invasion just sounds awful.
That's tough. That is
tough.
Brutal. I love Ring of Honor, and I'm looking at them names like I ain't flying that flag no time soon. I'm good on that. So yeah, that's tough.
When Matt Taven is the only Matt Taven and PCO are the former world champions in your group. I mean,
maybe the worst Ring of Honor world champs since like 2000.
Since Xavier.
I didn't want to put his name out there, but basically.
I got love for him. He's a New York legend, but gotta call it like
what it is.
Yeah.
Since then, though, it's them two, right? That feels like a lot.
And Dalton Castle as well. Because of the injuries. WWE relaunched their NXT brand 4 months ago as NXT 2.0, and apparently due to a new report from WrestleVotes, the brand hasn't worked out the way that some people in WWE have wanted. Per the report, WWE has been disappointed internally with the revamp.
I really wonder why.
Right.
We could take 25 guesses as to why.
With the revamped brand, they thought that fans would gravitate to the newer stars quicker than they have.
How?
In spite of this, it's unlikely any changes are coming anytime soon. Top Guy JJ, your thoughts?
This shit is trash, bro. NXT 2.0 is straight dog water. Like, this shit is straight trash. Like, there's literally the best thing that was good about this show left with Tommaso Ciampa. Now this show is just straight hog water now. Like, you got AJ Styles coming to this show now to fucking try to give them hope. And I saw that just through Instagram. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here? I'm like, these motherfuckers are desperate. And I saw all these like Grayson Waller, and you got this fucking Steiner's kid or nephew or some shit. You got this fucking guy that was supposed to be canceled. That I don't know if he's still on there. Like, where the fuck are the real stars of NXT at? Like, is Cameron Grimes still there? Like, he is. Oh, thank goodness. There's at least something.
He is there. He's been in catering for a couple of weeks, though.
I've seen I've missed a lot of the episodes, but I have to say I watched this week for.
Me too. I don't even
Roddy
I
and,
don't use it no more on Tuesdays. Like,
yeah, I wanted to
that
see
looks
Roddy
great,
and
sure.
Volta, and
Yeah,
that show was
so the NXT champion is back to the Divas generation. Got it.
that show was brutal this week. That was real. It was bad. It was the waiting for the main event match was a slog. It was long. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to be surprised, right? Like, oh wow, it hasn't worked. Like, come on, what do you expect to happen? It's a huge story. Like, if you go back and look at the NXT cards from a year ago, wow, that's something to see. It looks more like an AEW card now. It's nuts. So it's a weird time. It's very strange.
It's very strange times, but WWE, this hasn't stopped them from criticizing the competitors. AEW has been, more liberal with their use of blood in their matches, but WWE didn't shy away from taking shot at their competition in a statement to the Toronto Star. The piece looked at SmackDown and Dynamite's ratings numbers on TSN in Canada and noted that AEW is very competitive in the younger demographics. The writer of the article argued that AEW's edgier content was a reason for the overall competitiveness in the 25 to 54 demographic. And in response, WWE stated, if you look at the gory self-mutilation that bloodied several women in the December 31st event on TNT, it quickly becomes clear that these are very different businesses. We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era, but in a 2022 world, we don't believe that type of dangerous and brutal display is appealing to network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or the general public as a whole. WWE was referencing the Anna Jay and Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford and the Bunny match that aired on the New Year's Smash edition of AEW Rampage. And according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Warner Media was said to be upset about the WWE quote, and the company saw it as a personal attack and attempt to hurt their ad sales. Krssi Luv, what do you think about WWE's response to the bloody matchup between Anna Jay and Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford and the Bunny? And do you think they have a point?
They're just they have nothing nice to say, so they just try to like butter it up as much as they can. Because they're really not doing that over on the other side. Like, they're not doing that. That's not how they want to treat their women's division with the lack that there is right now. Because we're getting the same things like copied and pasted every week anyway. So they're not even like really shining or giving the girls any much of a chance. At least they're, AEW is like giving maybe like two matches on on Rampage. I mean on Dynamite. Like, at least even if it's like for 4 minutes, like the girls are getting more than one match for the night. You understand what I'm saying? We're main eventing. Like they how many tag matches can we put Doudrop and Becky Lynch in them? And like, how many times we gonna do this? We just have them go at it. Like, oh
yeah,
Doudrop and Becky Lynch.
Doudrop and Becky Lynch are fighting each other at the Royal Rumble, and they team together.
Holy fuck! Oh wow!
Yeah, friend. But I mean, they have nothing nice to really say. They're just gonna kind of butter it up or whatever. They want the guys to get bloodied, but and that's not even it's by accident most of the time. They don't want any color, to be honest. Like, that's just not what they're trying to show. That's not their demographic. They don't want to do that. They want to just get money and semi-entertain us. That's just what they want to do. So they want to butter it up and put a little
for the kids. They want AEW to be for the kids.
Despite rapid speculation about the likes of Jon Moxley or Cody Rhodes being a part of the show, Dave Meltzer reports there will be no AEW involvement in this year's Royal Rumble. Sad for everyone, I know. PW Insider reported that LA Knight faced Roger Strong in the dark match prior to WWE SmackDown taping. As the president of the Roger Strong fan club, Joe, do you have optimism about his potential on the main roster?
I don't, but this is legitimately good news because it means they're going to make a decision one way or the other. And I don't speculate about people losing their jobs, but let's be honest, I think we all know there's a place waiting for Roddy if that happens, right? Like, there's obviously a home for him now elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's either going to get a spot on SmackDown or he's probably going to move on. And I think everyone knows which side of that I would prefer. But I'm happy. In all seriousness, I'm happy for Roddy because he's kind of got himself back in like the buzz of things, and with the way the stuff's worked out, the Undisputed here on the other channel. So good for him. He's been having great matches on NXT 2.0 that no one's watching because the show's bad. But he can only do his job, right? I think it says a lot about SmackDown that we all agree he's kind of fucked if he goes there because he's a great wrestler that should have a place on every wrestling show. But that show isn't a wrestling show, right? I don't think it would go well, but I think in the big picture, for me, being selfish is probably good news. So there you go.
Big picture. There you go.
Wait, is Roderick Strong going to the main roster?
He had a dark match. Do you listen to the show? He literally just said he had a dark match.
I had to register this because that's the. I had to register it because that's like the death of his career there.
I think they're doing the thing they've done in recent months where like they basically decide, have they got a place on the main roster? Is it time to let them go? I think that's what's happening with Roddy.
Like I love my fucking Roderick Strong, man, and he gonna fucking bomb there, yo.
It's such a shame that we agree on that, right? Like there should be a place for him on every show. But we know there's not one for him on SmackDown.
Logically, yes.
Yeah, it's a shame. You imagine
he's not the tribal chief.
Like if you look at SmackDown's roster, I had to look at yesterday, and it's like him and Ricochet or him and Cesaro wrestling mid-card matches is good for that brand, but they don't have interest in that, right? They'd rather do Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin and the circus.
Oh my God.
It's true, right? It's brutal. It's sad.
I swear, Joe, you are speaking how I feel because every time I see Happy Corbin and Madcap, I want to vomit. Seriously, like this is ridiculous. Like this is like these guys are better than this, and I'm not even like a fan of Corbin, but I'm just like he will just make what did they say? Make lemon in the lemonade or what? He's gonna take the product, he's gonna go with it, and he does whatever he can to make this stuff work. Yeah. Great. Why you can't do that for Ali? And it's just like, why do I have to watch this every week? And it's every week that he's on TV every week. If it's not him, then it's go ahead.
To be fair to Corbin, he just takes what they want him to do instead of coming up with stuff for him to do. So it's a little bit different than the Ali situation.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Then that's fine. However, I still cannot understand why we have to watch Madcap and Happy Corbin do a stupid show with dumb, and we get three or four matches. We got 3 or 4 rematches yesterday on SmackDown. What? Like,
so, not trying to knock people in their jobs, right? So you're telling me you couldn't find nothing for Bray fucking Wyatt, but you could find something for Baron fucking Corbin and Madcap Moss on TV.
Priorities.
Like, the most backwards company ever.
Value.
They
That's what they said.
Bray Wyatt, bro.
Final bit of WWE news. There is a big push within WWE to get former ROH World Women's World Champion Roxy signed, according to FIFO Select. She was at the recent WWE tryout. The most notable were her and Notorious Mimi. She was the inaugural ROH Women's World Champion until she lost to Deonna Purrazzo on the January 9th episode of Impact Wrestling, which was a bigger sign that she's about to be signed. And one source at the WWE Performance Center used that match as an example of why signing Roxy would be a no-brainer, though they also noted that they thought Wheeler Yuta was a no-brainer last year, and that obviously didn't happen. So Roxy going to be added to NXT 2.0 Tag Team Champions with Cora Jade. Just watch out. Our AEW AEW news, we got to get into this one here. Bully Ray had a comment to say. I guess he was very annoyed by Booker T getting the worst takes in the wrestling business that we talked about last week, and Bully Ray wanted to add his name to the hat. He says he would have liked Jon Moxley to apologize to AEW's fans for his absence during his promo on Wednesday night's AEW Dynamite. As noted earlier in the show, Moxley appeared in the opening segment, cut a promo talking about his taking time off, and which was to attend an inpatient alcohol treatment program. He noted that the coming year would be a pilgrimage for him as well. And during Thursday's Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca discussed it Wednesday's episode, and Ray praised the segment overall before saying that he would have liked to hear Moxley express something for the fans he let down by not being there at shows they bought tickets for.
What?
Yes. He said that Jon Moxley should apologize. Renee Burkett responded to this, saying that that was a really bad take at Bully Ray. And we also got Paige, who responded to that tweet, saying that everybody knows Devon is the better Dudley.
No, wait.
Hold on. I like that. First of all, those is funny. She chose violence when she woke up that morning. That's great. I love that. Amazing. I agree. However,
yes.
Fuck you, Bully Ray. Like, who the fuck are you? Fuck you and your foolishness. No one asked your fucking opinion. No one gave a shit about you. No one's even fucking talking about you. Okay? Fuck you. The man had something that he had to deal with. He ain't worried about the PM people. He worried about his wife and his daughter. That's what he's worried about. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And that's what I got to say.
Yeah, I literally just went in my phone. I just went in my phone and deleted every picture that I've ever had of him. And because I had a picture of him back when I went to an Impact show, and I don't give a fuck about that no more. He's a real life piece of shit. That's a real life piece of shit thing to say, no matter what the fuck. If you're trying to get people's reactions, if you're trying to get a reaction, then you just got some. You're a sack of shit. You're a waste of time in people's ears. You're a waste of semen. You're literally a waste of semen. You were a mistake that was put on this earth because you do not understand that somebody is going through something like that, and for you to say he needs to apologize to people when he literally explained everything he went through in that promo. He explained vividly clear of what he went through in that promo, and you still want him to apologize for basically going to hell. And you want him to apologize for this because you want something, you want to see some vindication for you. It's a sack of shit, bro. He's a sack of shit. He's a waste of fucking semen.
Fair. Agreed. Fair.
Joe, any additional comments?
No, I think I probably covered it. The one thing I will say is I think it's high time that these podcast networks and all these places with exposure stop. Just I don't care how many tag titles he's won. He says nothing of substance. He's not interesting, right? And that doesn't mean I should be in that position. It doesn't mean I'm just saying this idea that he actually has anything to talk about or add to the conversation of professional wrestling is done. We saw what he did when he was in a position of power. He fucking killed one of my favorite promotions. He's done. And I'm not, I don't want to get it is what it is, right? We know the deal. This isn't a one-off. Then there's other guys, you mentioned one of them, dudes that just don't need to have a platform. They'd be much better remembered if they just left and went away. But they can't. They don't want to do that because they're desperate to be in these fucking oblivion. It's just it's a shame because I think we all know it's not changing, right? He'll be on that show as long as he wants to. And that sucks. But I mean, yeah, he's a bozo, obviously.
100% agree with everything you guys said.
That's cheap heat gone wrong. That's cheap heat gone really fucking wrong.
Hey, this is the same man who said that he didn't know if Kenny Omega was over or the one winning. So his point is irrelevant.
Nothing he says is valid. So it doesn't even.
A lot of the things he says is just to get this type of attention. So I think that's that we move on.
He's a troll. He's a troll. That's what it is.
I know why he has a job. You can clearly know why he has a job. Right. He has a strong voice. Mm-hmm. He has a voice that he has a prominent voice. Other than that, his opinions are worth dog shit.
Yep.
Agreed. During Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted that Rey Fenix is expected to return in mid-February following his shocking arm injury on the January 5th AEW Dynamite. And Ray Phoenix must have a shamrock stuck up his ass or something.
Got it.
I'm sorry, because that man should not be back next month after that injury.
Nope.
Tony Khan announced also.
They say come back in 5 days.
Tony Khan also said that another injury has went down with Eddie Kingston, and he has a fractured orbital bone, reported by Dave Meltzer. He said he should be out for 3 weeks. Speaking of AEW making changes, they put out a new shirt for former WWE NXT superstar Marina Shafir, who is the wife of Roderick Strong, and this has led to many thinking that she will be starting up with All Elite Wrestling. Joe, does this excite you at the 6 degrees of separation that this leads to Roderick joining?
Honestly, and I mean this with all respect, what I saw of Marina in NXT was quite rough. She had a match on Dark with Chris Statlander that was she like a different wrestler altogether. So I think she may be a Ty Conti situation where she gets to wrestle her style and do the MMA stuff. And she's been promising so far. Obviously, yeah, my mind goes to the elephant in the room with man, his wife's there, his pals are there, his faction is there. It's very difficult for me not to look at one direction. Yeah, so
writing's there.
Good for her. Very much so.
Yes, I do agree. I would say if anybody wants to see her outside the WWE bubble, go out and watch GCW Bloodsport, where she had her first outside of WWE match. And then there was a bunch of changes to AEW matches this week. FTR versus Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson was scrapped from Dynamite. This was due to AEW's medical protocol, and the company still plans to do that matchup, but they were related to COVID-19 protocols. And Rocky Romero announced that he was diagnosed with COVID-19, and that scrapped the Roppongi Vice versus Young Bucks match from Rampage this week. And then AEW announced the lineup for their Beach Break special this coming Wednesday. I'll get quick predictions from you guys. So we're going to have CM Punk and Britt Baker speaking, but first up, Chris Jericho, Santana and Ortiz versus Daniel Garcia in 2.0. Top guy JJ.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to go with Daniel Garcia in 2.0. I see this breakup happening very, very suddenly with Jericho and Santana and Ortiz.
They did tease that on Dynamite. Joe, who you got?
Yeah, I agree totally. I think the story they're telling, something's going to happen here, right, with the Inner Circle guys. Yeah. Hopefully Jericho comes over as the heel. I think, Kingston bringing Santana and Ortiz away from them should be a babyface story, because I think we all agree that's what they need to do, right? So hopefully we can cheer it. But I agree with the prediction, absolutely.
What about you, Krssi?
I agree. The Inner Circle will lose, and they'll be they're going to break up probably that night.
I'm going to make it unanimous, go with Garcia in 2.0. Red Velvet will go one-on-one with Layla Hirsch after Hirsch's heel turn last week. I'll go with legit Layla for sure. Who you got in this one, Joe?
Yeah, Layla Hirsch for sure. She's great, man. I'm so happy to see her in an angle on TV. She's awesome. Yeah, she's going to win this pretty decisively, I think.
Krssi?
It's sad that Red Velvet has to lose yet again, but Layla Hirsch.
There. Top guy, JJ?
Well, this ain't sad. Layla Hirsch gonna bust that ass. Layla Hirsch gonna bust that ass legitly. Ooh, I love me some Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch. Ooh, you seen that little goon on Dynamite?
Legitly. I love the logic behind her heel turn. You fucked with my money. You fucked with my money, yo.
My hands, yo. Stop talking.
Anyone would be mad at that. Yeah, anyone is gonna fight for that, because when you mess up somebody's money, don't have someone supposed to get paid on their payday and their money ain't in their check and they in their account. Heads is rolling. They can't even work that day. They're not gonna work until they get their money. Don't right. You got bills. You come to work and you look in your account and your money ain't there. The day is done. Like it's done before it even started, because I need to speak to someone in HR. I need the payroll. I need someone to tell me what's going on, and that's exactly what she did. Don't fuck with I need my money. Where's my money?
Layla coming to collect, bro. Layla coming to collect.
Legit collection services. TNT Championship ladder match. Cody Rhodes will go one-on-one with Sammy Guevara. I think that Cody retains in this one. Top guy JJ.
Oh God, what really? Oh, come on. What is the point of this?
I'm gonna pray. I'm just gonna go with Sammy Guevara, because if I get another bunch of promos with Cody telling 95 different stories, I'm probably gonna vomit during Dynamite.
Krssi, who you got?
a little conflicted because the run for Sammy has been like stale-ish. But I guess if you give him 2 belts, whatever. But I'm gonna probably go with Sammy.
And who you got, Joe?
This is all very strange, isn't it? This is a weird deal they've got going on with this title. I'm gonna pick Cody just based on the fact that it feels strange to have him win it and then drop it straight back. But like, it kind of feels like Sammy should win, like it's a strange deal. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather the TNT title move on from both, to be totally honest. But that's just me.
Ding ding ding. I agree. I totally agree with that one. Please let it go. He's done. It's done. I'm tired of the whole signs. It's dumb now. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even cute.
The cards is dumb.
The cards are dumb. It's stupid. Like, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Dumb.
Yeah, I think gotta go to another show soon. So go ahead.
And then finally, you got the lights out match with Adam Cole going 1-on-1 with Orange Cassidy, the second lights out match in AEW Dynamite history. Who you have in this one, Krssi?
I'm going with Adam Cole.
Baby. Who you got, Joe?
Baby.
I think this is the way to have Orange win without putting a loss on the record of Adam Cole. The question that many have brought up and is interesting is if Johnny Gargano is involved in the finish. We are in Cleveland, which is certainly something to kick around and think about. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying it's interesting. Whatever way you get there, I think Orange is probably going to get the win, and that's the point of the lights. That's just me. It probably feels like he needs to get a win at this point. So that's just me.
JJ, who you got?
Yeah. I'm going Adam Cole. I don't believe any of that. I'm going Adam Cole, baby. Orange Cassidy has been the most inconsistently booked AEW talent, and he's just way too inconsistent with the booking. Like, They don't know when to give him a streak. They don't know when to give him a slump. He just has random wins and random losses. Like, his shit just has no rhyme or reason.
No meaning. Yeah.
I said it on AE Ramble. I'll say it here. It makes no sense to do this match unless Orange Cassidy is winning. So I got Orange Cassidy winning. New Japan Pro Wrestling news. Tokyo Sports reports that. Oh my God. Not my proudest work, but it's honest work. Well done, Romeo. Well done. Tokyo Sports reports that Tetsuya Naito has signed a new deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling and revealed he took a 24% pay cut with the new deal. Yes, apparently so. Also, New Japan Pro Wrestling had their first episode back on AXS TV and did 88,000 viewers, holding steady from what Impact does and what usually AXS does at 10 p.m. on Thursdays.
I love that.
Impact
Impact
news. They did 126,000 viewers for them on AXS TV this week, and they're also going to be paying tribute to the late Jimmy Rave next month with a special episode of Impact in 60. And Jimmy Rave, of course, passed away in December at the age of 39. And other news that excites Joe, Major League Wrestling has announced that Buddy Matthews debuted for the company at last night's MLW Blood and Thunder.
Buddy Murphy. Okay, great. I'm sorry.
Now known as Buddy Matthews, PW Insider also reported that Bandito made his debut for the promotion at the show, and MLW has announced a world championship match for their pay-per-view special MLW Super Fight next month. It's going to be Alexander Hammerstone defending the title against Davey Richards, as well as ROH has announced their main event for Super Card of Honor in April, Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito, to determine the true ROH World Champion. But the ROH World title will be defended at the Wrld On GCW this Sunday, tomorrow night on Fight TV and traditional pay-per-view. A huge lineup of matches, and we'll start here with the ROH Original World Championship on the line. Jonathan Gresham will defend against Blake Christian. Who you got in this one, Joe?
Well, Gresham's the winner, obviously, but I think I have to say I wish it was not Blake Christian's a good pro wrestler, but I wish it was a more exciting match for Gresham on this show. I have to say, but the winner I feel like it's a lock, right? Gresham's keeping that thing obviously until Supercard, so, and probably beyond that. So Gresham.
Agreed with you there. What about you, Krssi Luv? Gresham versus Christian.
I say Gresham for the win.
JJ?
Everything he said.
I agree, Gresham. Before the main show kicks off, there's going to be a pre-show battle royal as well as a pre-show 6-way scramble match. It's going to be Grim Reaper versus Dante Leon versus Nick Wayne versus Jack Cartwheel versus Ninja Mac versus Alex Zane. The scramble match is kind of the tradition on GCW shows. I'm going to go with the Scramble Master, Ninja Mac. Ninja Mac has been winning a whole bunch of scrambles on GCW shows, and I think he wins here. But a lot of great talent in this one. Who you got, Krssi Luv?
I'm just gonna guess that the ninja is the person that's dressed as the ninja, right?
Of course, that's a good guess.
Great. I'm just, because I don't know who any of these people are.
Alex Zane used to be in WWE actually, as Ari Sterling. Well, if you look at the names, the people are in the spots of the names. So Alex Zane is the last name. He's the last person.
You've never heard of the Grim Reaper?
No. Sorry.
Who you got, Miss Krssi Luv?
Sure, Alex Zane. I don't know.
Joe, who you got?
I haven't got much more insight to it. I'll also just say Alex Zane. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm trying to help y'all out here. JJ, who you got?
I guess I'll go with the little WWE lookalike, that dude at the bottom right. I'm gonna go with that kid. Whoever, Alex Zane, I think.
Alex Zane. There you go. You know. It's not like we just said his name like 4 times straight. Grab the brass ring ladder match. PCO will verse Tony Deppen versus Alex Zane. Alex Colon versus Jordan Oliver versus Jimmy Lloyd versus Leo Rush. So a little bit more people you guys should recognize in this one.
Okay.
The winner of this match will get a match at any time, any place that they want in GCW. Who do you have in this one, JJ?
Oh, this is I'm gonna go with
Is the ring hanging from the ladder?
It's gonna be hanging above the ladder.
Okay. All right,
You know what? Since this is all inconsistent anyway, I'm gonna go with Leo Rush.
I was gonna do the same thing, Leo Rush, because he's been in the headlines. Let's let him win.
Yeah, it feels like the play. I just hope everyone survives this thing. It feels like it could be dangerous,
There are some dangerous people. I mean, Lloyd is a deathmatch guy. Yep. So is Alex Colon. Jordan Oliver takes a lot of big risks. So does Tony Deppen. Of course, PCO.
Yeah, they look like they are like nut. They need to be in a nut house, yo.
PCO has been doing crazy shit for 25 years. So
I don't feel
he looks like he has.
He looks like he's a fucking stunt man.
Because his name is Cologne? Great.
No, he's been through like 17 wars.
Yeah.
Shit.
Trios match, you got Team Bandito. It's going to be Bandito, Laredo Kid, and ASF versus Team Gringo with Gringo Loco, Erez, and Demonic Flamita. In the previous match, I'm also agreeing with you. I think Leo Rush gets the win to take advantage of the buzz. In this one, I'm going with Team Bandito. I just think that this is going to be a crazy, high-flying spectacle in this one. Who do you got here, Miss Krssi Luv?
Same as you, Bandito. I love this
Team Bandito.
Match. Yeah, this is really nice. It looks like it's like bedazzled with black diamonds. It's cute.
Joe, who you got?
Yeah, I think Team Bandito. This should be really good, this match, right? This should be a really nice addition to the card. So hopefully this is as good as it can be. I'll take Team Bandito.
JJ?
Yeah, I have no idea who anybody is on that team left side, so I'm going with Bandito's team.
Special challenge match. This one should be very interesting. It's going to be Effie going one-on-one with WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett. Effie wanted to become the GCW World Champion on this show by winning the Battle Royal to get the #1 contendership, but it was none other than Jeff Jarrett who appeared in GCW to hit him with a guitar and set this match up. Jarrett then delivered a guitar shot to Ali Catch, Effie's tag team partner.
We're going to this shit.
So, who you got in this one? Effie versus Double J. Let's start with Miss Krssi Luv.
First of all, when you said the name Effie, I thought it was a girl. That's number one. Number two, Why is Jeff Jarrett?
Well,
even
to be fair, I don't know what he wants to be acknowledged of, but Effie is very open about his sexuality.
Great. Okay. Okay.
Jeremy's old as fuck in that picture, bro.
Yo, okay. Why is he still wearing like the Double J Jeff Jarrett outfit? Like, is he wearing that to the ring? Like, I have so many questions. I don't even understand. Like, Jeff Jarrett is gonna lose. Go ahead, Fred.
Who you got in this one, Joe?
I think there's a chance they go really crazy and have Jeff like escape with a win, and they keep going with this. I'll pick Effie, but the real selling here is just what this looks like, right? Like, how good does this come off? I don't know. We'll see. It'll be certainly interesting. I'll take Effie. That'll be my pick.
This is gonna be so bad.
I've literally told people that GCW is like a fever pitch. You will see some of the rising stars of professional wrestling, stars from AEW, from Impact Wrestling, from New Japan, and then you're gonna see guys from 30 years ago, like Tuco Scorpio, PCO, and Jeff Jarrett. But who do you got, Effie or Double J, JJ?
Of course, I'm going with Double J. He doesn't go to these events to lose. Like, this is gonna be so bad.
I think it's gonna surprise everyone. It's gonna be very unique on this card. I'm going with Effie to get the victory in this one. Special challenge match. Ruby Soho will go one-on-one with Ali Catch. Ali Catch has kind of been the number one woman in GCW, and her dream match was to verse Ruby Soho. So she gets it at the biggest event in GCW history. Who do you got in this one? Ali Catch versus Ruby Soho, Miss Krssi Luv.
I'm gonna go with Ruby for the win.
Top guy, JJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ruby Soho as well. Should be a pretty good match though.
Who you got, Joe?
Yeah, these matches are kind of interesting from a booking perspective, right? Because like it feels like Ali should win because the way they've framed the match is like this is her big
right.
I'll pick her, but it's kind of a weird deal, the special challenge thing. It was the same with the match isn't on there, but the AJ Gray Kingston thing was the same. Where it's like, I guess the AEW folks have to lose because it feels like that's the play. I'll take Ali for this particular one.
I wanted to go with Ali, but she just picked up a big victory over Kylie Ray. She's just defeated Thunder Rosa. So they're building up her big time for this victory. There's no goal after getting this victory because there's no women's title in GCW. Mm-hmm. So I think Ruby Soho gets the victory. Grudge match here. No. Grudge match here. You got Matt Cardona going one-on-one with Joey Janela. Matt Cardona has said that the reason GCW is at the Hammerstein Ballroom is due to him, but Joey Janela has found a way to get in the head of Cardona by redoing the old Ric Flair Miss Elizabeth photos with Chelsea Green at her famous swimming pool. Then Matt Cardona went to a toy hunt to find some toys for his action figure podcast, and none other than Joey Janela went there and jumped him, and they got into a huge brawl. If you check out Matt Cardona's Twitter page, he has a full My Way or the Highway themed video package about everything that has gone down between Cardona and Janela. Who do you have in this one, Joe?
These pics look so real.
This is incredible. An incredible piece of business, the shit these two do.
This is the best built feud of the show, in my opinion.
It feels like this is the time you pay off some of the Cardona heat, I guess, right? I guess Janela. But then I would be tempted to just let this thing... Cardona's on fire with this stuff, you know?
Right.
But I guess Joey Janela would be my assumption.
Who you got, JJ?
Ooh, I'm going to have fun with this one, but I think I'm going to go with Matt Cardona on this one. I think this is gonna be fun though. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Krssi, who you got?
I think I want to say Janela, but I feel like Matt would win because you now put pictures of me and my lady, and you took me out and you put my lady in there. So yeah, just like Macho Man had to win against Ric Flair, Matt's gonna win for sure. They look so real. They look amazing. I feel like they did this together.
So good. It's so good. I'm going with Janela in this one. He is Mr. GCW, so I think he deserves the victory here. GCW World Tag Team titles are going to be on the line. The Briscoes will defend in an open challenge. Any tag team in the world can accept their challenge and verse them on this show. Who do you think the tag team will be, and who will they face? It won't be FTR, just to get that out the way, because FTR does have a show against the Rock and Roll Express tonight in North Carolina, and it's doubtful they will be at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Joe, who do you think is the tag team and who wins?
The chat last night on our stream was saying they were saying Santana and Ortiz, and that feels like
that's
especially
that's the only team I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Because it's New York. It's that
I like that.
I like that answer.
Assume,
that's it. I'm going to take that one.
If you assume the Briscoes are signed to AEW, it makes even more sense, because then, it's another AEW team. They feel good about beating. Like, that's kind of dope. And that match would be awesome, by the way. So that's just where I'm going with it.
Say the least.
Yeah.
You said that name, and I totally agree with you. I think, Santana and Ortiz, but I think probably
back off that one. Yep.
the Briscoes walk out with the titles, but I think Santana and Ortiz. Krssi?
Yes, for sure. I'm gonna piggyback off Joe. I couldn't think of an answer, and then I was like, okay. I was gonna say the Young Bucks, but they're way too big for this right now. So yeah, I would definitely say Santana Ortiz, especially if it's going to be in New York. Anytime for them to come back home, it's something for them. So yeah, I think that would be the best. That is the only obvious answer.
JJ?
Yeah, New York I was probably the only guess I would have had. I would have got any other thing wrong. It has to be Santana and Ortiz. But yeah, Briscoes walk out, but that pop is going to be fucking thunderous, boy. That pop is going to be something crazy.
Romeo, you have anything to add?
I was confused. Why can't FTR take a flight from North Carolina to New York?
Well, one, we don't even know if that show's going to go down because of the medical protocol issues that they had in their match that got scrapped, because it was never confirmed if either one of them are going through the protocols. There's a lot of things that are stopping them from being the team against the Briscoes tomorrow night.
It feels like you want to advertise that match at this point.
Exactly.
Wherever it's happening, I'll be honest, I think it would kind of be a waste to do it as an open challenge, right? They've built this up a lot. You want to put that thing on a poster and sell some tickets, I would guess. But it could happen. It feels like it should happen in AEW, but we'll see.
Sure, it should happen in either AEW or ROH. It shouldn't happen in a promotion that really neither one have to do with at the moment. And then finally, we have the main event of the evening. Jon Moxley, who defends the GCW World Championship against New York's own Homicide. Homicide back in Hammerstein Ballroom, getting a shot at a world title for the first time since Final Battle 2006, the first ever independent show that I went to. I can't wait for this matchup here. Who do you got in this one, Krssi Luv?
That's a hard one. I want to maybe say like the hometown guy might win. I think Homicide should win, maybe. Less pressure for Mox to, do all these promotions since he has things going on. I would definitely give it to Homicide.
Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I think if Mox had to pick one guy to put over it in this setting, he would pick Homicide every day of the week. This is the big one for me. Yeah, and this is the one that's, got me putting my money down for it. I hope the match is good. I love Homicide, but, he's hit and miss sometimes now. He's had a long career. I'm confident he's going to really swing for the fences on this one. I think he's winning, but I hope the match is good because I'd love it to be great.
Yeah,
absolutely. JJ, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Moxley because I think Moxley enjoys the craziness. I think he enjoys the crazy schedule. I think he wants, now the fact that he's back and he's healthy, I think he just wants to be every fucking where. So I'm going to go with Moxley, even though it would be a solid option for Homicide to go over here in his hometown.
Totally agree 100% with all of you guys, but yeah, I think Moxley takes this one, retains. But yeah, I can't wait for the pop for Homicide in New York City. We're gonna be there live at the Wrld On GCW. My boy Blue says this show looks like it's gonna be awesome. We have Frantic World says Double J is about to get extreme. Blue also says Jeff Jarrett, the real top guy, JJ. Damian Hernandez says Effie looks like one of the stupid characters from Dodgeball. Damn. JJ says,
Kind of accurate.
But it's true
JJ
though. That's the problem. Oh my god. Oh wow.
JJ
Okay.
says mid-card Cardona will win. Frantic World says, did Matt bring back the ECW TV title? He did, because he beat Rhino and became the final ECW TV champion, because the following night he threw it in the trash.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And Frantic World says, wow, Matt is great. That is for sure. Heel Steven still thinks it's going to be FTR versus the Briscoes. Damian Hernandez says the Hardys. Okay. We got Bill's Mafia.
I don't think that's legal yet.
Bill's Mafia says would be wild if it was Amazing Red and Low Key. Yes, it would. Oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
The GCW fuck with Low Key like that though after some of the shit that happened. I don't know.
I see what you did there.
That would be tough. So.
Very well said. Very well said. And then we also got Reese Haynes, who says still think they're gonna run back Mox and Gage. Yeah, I think Gage is showing up on the show for sure. For sure. You can't have a GCW WrestleMania type event and not have Nick Gage. So I think he will show up. But that brings us to a close on True Hill Heat 159. We want to thank our special guest, Joe Hulbert. He came through. We had a good time once again. Good brother. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media, what you're doing on the Late Night Grin, the Fleet 50. You're a busy man, so let the people know.
Yeah, it's a different answer these days, right? It's weird. It's a weird vibe. At Joe Hulbert on Twitter, that's where you can get all the updates on what I'm doing. Right now, I'm focused on the Late Night Grin. You can become a patron at latenightgrin.com. The support on there has been crazy, especially this week. We're doing free stuff on YouTube now. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see all of this stuff. Like, I tweet about it. I have a lot of respect for what, you guys do here, because I've done it for about a week, and I get it. It's tiring, like having that your own thing. But I'm trying with this thing. So, thanks for everyone that has supported me. And if you're new you've met me through this, then latenightgrin.com. I promise there is like a couple good pieces of content on there. There's some good shit on there. Like, there's a lot of bad maybe, but there's some good. So yeah, that's where I'm at these days. But Twitter is where you'll get the updates at Joe Hulbert. There you go.
I'm very excited for you, Joe, and I know that you are a hardworking brother and a funny individual that you guys, if you haven't already, go out your way and support Joe, because he's doing some great things. And Miss Krssi Luv, thank you for welcome back and returning to us this week. Please let the people know where they can find you.
Busy. You can find me every week with my good brothers, Top Guy JJ and SP for True Hill Heat every Saturday. Other than that, you can find me in SP doing either Dark Side of the Ring when that comes back, or you can just go back and look it up on our YouTube page and go back and rewatch them. We do that. I am now doing Friday Night SmackDown, excuse me. You can watch the Nashville Screwjob that we did. It is now up on a Teddy Turnbuckle's channel, so please watch that. Please like it, share it, all of that good jazz. I'm there with Josh and our producer Romeo. Other than that, you can find me on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. You can DM me, you can message me, send me anything. It's Krssi Luv 1_ just Krssi Luv.
I don't know if you want to invite them to the DMs, but
no, but wrestling related, friends. Come on,
that sounds like an open invitation, I'm not sure. I'm not sure Mr. Love will be happy with that.
Welcome back to Top Guy JJ, and where can the people follow you, sir?
You know what?
Come on, man. It's always good times. Always got a bunch of chops here and there, On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHill_Top Guy JJ. You can look me up on Facebook on my first and last name. On here, you can find me here with these guys. It was great to finally get this back on the road, man. Feels good. And hopefully, I'm still very undecided. I got like 2 hours to decide on the fucking watch along for today's game. Our game is at 4:30, so I got like 2 hours to figure this shit out. I'll know in like an hour.
There you go. There you go. So you'll find out on Patreon this week if you go to patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you a Patreon subscription. We got exclusive content up on there. I did the 3 count with SP3 has returned and it's exclusive on Patreon. So check that out. You can follow me over on the Twitter machine at True Heel SP3. You can see me on the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast about 4 times a week with Rick Ucchino, as well as on Sports Keto Wrestling after SmackDown and Rampage on Smack Talk. So definitely check those out as well. And there's great content right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We had NX3 this week with I believe it was Romeo and Ness reviewing this week, and NXT 2.0. And of course the Gunther name change. We had watch along for AEW Dynamite. You could check out this Wednesday. We're going live with our watch along for Beach Break. We had Blunt Impact with Ness breaking down Impact on AXS TV with the ROH World Title being defended, as well as AE Ramble with myself and Jimmy Macaram, where yes, Jimmy Macaram said Tony Khan needs to fill his Negro hole and that Tony Khan has a vagina limit. So this is a episode of AE Ramble you want to go out of your way to watch. So definitely enjoy all of those things. And we got great content coming up over the weekend. Tomorrow, we'll be doing something for the Wrld On GCW, either a watch along or just a review. So you can check both of those out as well. So a great time to become a subscriber for True Hill Heat. So for our special guest, Joe Hulbert, for Miss Krssi Luv and Top Guy JJ, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We want to thank everyone for joining us live for True Hill Heat 159, Denied, Resigned, and Freedom. And we are signing off until next time.
Peace out.
Gunther.